All right, hello everybody. Welcome to Bilgewater Brawl. This is the first time we're doing this tournament. Hopefully, we're going to run it again next year. Thanks again to all the players and captains for helping this run very smoothly. If you don't know the drill, we're doing this the same as we did Frostbite earlier in this year. The games got played over the weekend, but we are going to be streaming them throughout the following week. So please do not discuss results if you played in the games and you know who wins. Just let the casters have fun. But anyway, we are going to hop into game. The first one is going to be casted by Jacob and Mason. It is Milky Way versus the Midwives. Milky Way had side select and did choose blue side for this first game. And I'm going to kick it off with some player highlights, and I'll put in some nice little Bilgewater themed background music for us.
Ooh. Yippee!
All right, so I think that it's on to us now, Mason. Do you lose any to these teams? Are you aware of
No, I can see it. So it looks like for the Midwives, or is it? Wait, no, for Milky Way, is it Milky Way or Midwives? Hold on,
Milky Way is on the left.
Okay, so for Milky Way, it was Blake, Alana, Stanley, Dean, and Mythic. Blake coming back, playing some version of that. Pretty big deal. Has a very big champion pool versus Avery, which is a really hype matchup. Avery, I think, was one of the best top laners in last season. Super dominant, and being paired up with Hong in the bot lane should be a pretty spooky team. I say both of these teams are like pretty even. What else is there? Let me double check the rosters real quick.
People saw on Midwives is Avery, Cam, Joel, Hong, Baba, and Kathy. It's really exciting to see the Kathy's Kittens bot lane coming back.
Yeah, Cam and Joel. I don't think we've ever seen this particular pairing, but Joel has a really strong mid laner, and Cam has a really strong jungler. It should be really fun to see him versus Alana. And Stanley, our resident sleeper mid laner, plays control mages. ZZ has picked up the Cassin in a little bit in recent times, activating the L9 arc. So
it should be quite good in
how it goes.
Pool.
Yeah, it is nice to see him expanding the champ pool a little bit. Let's see how it goes though. Is there anything else we need to discuss? Not really.
I guess, based on the teams, what's your prediction for this game? Just hot take.
If we look just at rosters, I'm going to say I think Midwives should take it. I think their roster is a little stronger on paper. But we'll have to see how the draft goes and whatnot. So
right. I'll give the alternative take. I think Milky Way is going to take it. Just gotta have a contrarian take.
That's fair. I'm gonna resub with my Twitch Prime team. Go ahead and sub to Scrim Zone LOL if you can.
Unless you didn't shout out your own stream there.
No, for sure. But yeah. I
think
that's really it. Is there anything else we need to talk about? I don't really think so.
I think we're good. I think I could hear it's listed as bot lane, but
we could also talk about champions, I guess. I wonder what Ori Prio is going to look like. I think both mid laners should be able to play the Orianna.
I think we're definitely going to see GP ban.
Yeah, there's like lines for the GP ban. I wonder which champions of Avery is going to get banned. I'd imagine Darius probably gets removed from the table, as Blake really hates playing versus Darius. I am curious to see what Alana will play in the jungle. I
think it's been a little bit tanks, just a lot of tanks.
Yeah, but we'll have to see what goes on there. And we'll have to see if what's the name? Joel's Zerath and Ziggs. I wonder if what will do the prio on that, and which of Teddy's bot lane champions might make it there. Mythic should, in theory, have to play some newer supports. Has been on like the Nautilus and the
Leona
the most, and it's not into the fearless portion of the draft yet, so probably not for a little bit. But anyways.
Okay, yeah, real quick, I did forget to mention a couple things about how we're streaming it. Today is going to be the first 2 rounds of the bracket, and then tomorrow is going to be the last 2 rounds of the bracket and the qualifying series for finals. And then day 3 is the finals, which means that one team is going to be eliminated per day. So today
Yeah.
we're guaranteed to see 2 games from each of the 4 teams, but after today, 1 team will be eliminated, and that is going to be the final game of the day. But other than
Okay.
that, I will kick it into draft for you guys.
All right.
Let's
Cool.
go. Wow, this is new background. Sheesh.
Okay. So they blinded the Kane. So it was a Kane top. That's really fucking funny. I did hear about this through the grapevine.
The
And then they,
this spot here.
yeah, so they opted to play ban Xerath, Jinx, and Riven. These are obviously some Midwives' best champions. Avery super well known for the Riven. Hong's Jinx is arguably his most consistent champion, although
Especially because it's quite strong.
I think his Aphelios is also pretty good, but I don't think he needs to worry about, or you shouldn't really blind it into
If you doubt his Aphelios, just 1v1 him
Yeah.
in ARAM like I always
Yeah.
ask for.
Aphelios is arguably like a worse blind into an ADC with a bit of a bigger champion pool. And then for the side of Midwives, they decided to ban Garen, Garen and GP, arguably two of Blake's best champions, and Stanley's Victor. This is just Stanley's champion. He doesn't get to play that much, but it is pretty good. So
He does, Navy's good.
yeah. And so Milky Way does choose to pick the Kane top. Now I heard, well, obviously in theory, at this point in the draft, you do not know it is a Kane top. Right. However, thanks to certain draft leakers, I do know this is the Kane top. But they choose to respond with like the Ezreal and the Ziggs. I think this is like kind of okay. It maybe forces Kane to go blue. And like blue is kind of hard to play into like Ezreal, but like blue's also kind of OP, so it doesn't really matter. And then they choose to pick Sejuani, which was the shown jungler that Alana has played. And like, it's fucking Sejuani. I think a chimpanzee with no hands could play this champion. It is not that fucking hard. And they choose to blind or not blind the Orianna. They choose to pick Orianna into Ziggs, which is, I think, a good pick. Orianna.
Syndra.
Or Syndra, sorry.
I
can't speak. I can't speak, bro. But yeah, they choose to pick the Syndra into the Ziggs. I'm pretty sure Syndra wins this 1v1 and also just can kind of assist the Syndra or the Sejuani a little bit from range with like the push through on the balls. So that's pretty good. And then Midwives chooses to lock in the Aatrox here because I think they assume it's either Kane top or Kane or Sejuani top, and either way, I think Aatrox does really good into both of those. So makes a lot of sense. And then onwards to the second part of the draft, they choose to ban out Mythic's what is this champion? Nautilus. And they also choose to ban out Dean's Callista. I think this is pretty valid. Callista has a lot of good pairings and support right now. And just removing one of Dean's better ADC champions is pretty good. And then from the side of Midwives, they choose to ban out Cam's Bel'Veth. Sure, I suppose. I don't know why Cam isn't picking Echo or Hecarim, but whatever, man. Hecarim sucks, so I don't blame him on that one.
Yeah.
But Bel'Veth is like a fine ban. He's played it a little bit. It's like his third best jungler, I suppose. I don't fucking know, man. I was allergic to playing Wukong or some shit. I don't fucking know. Anyways, so they choose to blind the Thresh.
Yeah, I was very surprised to see that. I wasn't super aware of.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that they swapped. Did they swap Kathy to ADC on the Ezreal and then just picked Hong Thresh, which is an interesting play. Yeah. And then they choose to lock in the Senna Karthus. I think was this Karthus AD carry?
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes sense.
I think it's really strong for the comp here.
It's like a decent lane, I'm pretty sure. Senna can sort of like let Karthus get all the farm and then poke, and then they kill people, you know. And then Cam chooses to pick Rek'Sai. I don't know why. Rek'Sai fucking sucks sticking balls in this fucking meta right now, but sure, bro. Pick what you want, I guess. It is a champion you can have a lot of early game agency on, and like I think it was a pick that they kind of needed to like bring the draft together, kind of thing. But like,
I feel like your ganks don't have a lot of early. Well, I mean,
that's all you have.
That's
all you have is early ganks, and they have like okay-ish gank assists with Aatrox.
Yeah. but
and
like
Thresh, but
Ziggs.
not Ziggs. And it's like, I don't think you really need to gank the Ziggs anyway. Just play for your side lanes kind of thing. But I think there's like arguably better champs. You could have probably picked the Jarvan here if I was Cam. And I had last pick. There's like a bunch of other champions I would rather play than fucking Rek'Sai right now, but I respect it honestly. But yeah, that's I think my opinion on the draft so far. Yeah, it was Kathy on ADC with the Ezreal. Yeah,
She's
and Hong on the Thresh, which is pretty cool.
So what's your take on the draft now that we've seen the whole thing?
I think blue side looks a little bit better. That's just mostly off the back of Rek'Sai. I just fucking hate this champion right now. I think this is the first time.
Much better because of the Syndra Karthus Senna.
Yeah, and also like I think this is the first time we're seeing Mythic Senna. Senna has like been showing up a lot in signups. Champ's really fucking good.
He's really strong.
Yeah, it just has like a lot of good pairings and support as well. So of like also playing the game top for fun, I guess. That's kind of hype.
My goat. I mean, after last season, he got a bit of a taste of the
new
off
team
the Apex again, and he
yeah.
Kind of with it.
I'm glad to see him back. We'll have to see how he performs. Yeah, I agree with Adiri here. His take was Rek'Sai is definitely a champion people should pick. Yeah, for sure. I think this champ's super useful.
For sure.
Certainly. Anyways, I think that's really it for the draft. We can get into game.
Yeah, I think, like you said, I'm leaning towards blue side here. But
Yeah.
if we see this Cam pop off on the Rek'Sai as he is, you never know what to do, just like pull out these insane performances. I can definitely see it.
Yeah, he is like 25 points for a reason. So
yeah.
I think if he can pop off on the Rex side, it's pretty good. But other than that, I'd say blue side is a little stronger at like a couple points in the game, or like mid game onwards, I think. So
I also think that Teddy on the Thresh is something we haven't really touched on. He is this is he's his strongest role at support, and with a pick like Ezreal, if Kathy is just left her own devices, just farm safely, Teddy can make some really serious stuff happen on the map with vision control and ganks.
Yeah, you can kind of rotate like the Rek'Sai Thresh around. It's like a really good duo combination. If you leave the Ezreal on the island, it should work out in theory, but we'll have to see how they execute in the game.
See, the problem is for me,
you want to pause real quick, Dean? We can talk about runes.
Oh, true.
PTA is like pretty standard on Ezreal. There's like Dark Harvest on Karthus. That makes a lot of sense. I think most lane Karthuses go for Harvest, just because like you can get it off in lane. Blake opting for the Airy Kayn setup. I think this is like a more modern Kayn innovation where you go Airy and like get your form faster. So is that Cam opting not to buy potion in the jungler? God bless America. He knows how to play this role. Yeah, that's
has sex last year, which should make him gives him some really creative roam angles, which I'm excited to see.
Yeah.
What's the contour Rek'Sai Blizzard build?
Who's a hater, bro? Just give me like 5 seconds to talk about the runes, bro. Come on. Anyways, Teddy did also opt for the Glacial, so he's like a little less tanky in fights, but has a little more utility when hitting CC. So we'll have to see how that goes. Yeah. Not much. The standard 5-point. I think the blue side opted for like a group as 5 to like prevent the Thresh invade, which is fair. Just playing around the level 1 really well. Yeah. Aatrox should slam this lane top lane, right? I heard rumors about what happened in this Kayn matchup,
Mason,
so I'm not this one. But yeah, Aatrox should be able to win this matchup.
Mason, I knew who won this game. Have you like heard me talking about it all? No.
Yeah, no, but I don't even care.
Okay, man.
Fight me, bro.
Oh
I didn't even spoil the results, bro. Come on, man. Like, what are you talking about?
I will say one thing about the Senna Karthus spot is it's a bit of a game of just dodging, which regardless of how the matchup should go, it just adds a lot of stress to it. So that's something to keep in mind, especially for like the solo Kathy bot. If that ends up with the roaming, that just makes it a really good trade from Blake here up top.
Yeah,
really
just utilizing the area damage a lot with the double Q for a lot of damage. Yeah, I think Dean was really good at the Senna pick. The hook hit by Hong into the play, the ignite comes out, the heal comes out too, and first one going over to Kathy. Good,
really
on
nice
the abilities. Super good hook from Hong as well. The ignite came out just in time. That's like the power of the PTA early. Like you get a lot of kill pressure on the Ezreal, so super good from them to set that up.
And then of course it's also good that you got the kill on the side.
Yeah.
This, you know, Karthus when he dies is able to farm a little bit more, get a little bit more damage off. But
yeah, it looks like
Senna has one of the lowest HP pools in the game.
Yeah, it looks like the Kayn is able to get a lot of poke down using like the abilities to like get good trades off. And it looks like Joel's just auto shoving these waves into the Syndra. Do have a little bit of better wave clear. It's the Q2 just hanging out. So there should be a Rost angle from the Kayn since you're fighting a melee champion. So he did also the Ghost Ignite, which is really funny. So
yeah, I feel like Blake is a really big fan of that rune.
Yeah. Rek'Sai looking for the gank here. The flash, the knockup. Oh my gosh, super good. Super good setup from the Rek'Sai and the Thresh to go for this play. Yeah. Just making sure that Hong leads the play and then managing to get the kill. Joel has like no mana.
Thresh though, unfortunately.
Yeah, but it's like fine. You got like a lot of tempo off that for your bot lane, so.
Right. Friends Karthus from farming.
Yeah.
Got the drive-by gank.
Yeah.
Alright, we do see your Teddy here. Okay, I was roaming up for vision. Nothing any crazy invade plays or anything. Rek'Sai's not quite.
Yeah, looking for the gank mid. Not much you can really do. Also, Cam changed his name to DM for crack. Very funny name.
I would not be surprised if that one was removed by Riot. Not gonna lie.
Nah, they don't care that much about it. I just think
Garrett was asked to have his name changed. He got it appealed, but like, they do really do that apparently.
That's really fucking funny, but yeah.
You report a game after every game. You go, Teddy.
That's really fucking funny. Wait, did he really?
That's what he said.
That's fucking funny.
Even if it's not true, I'm gonna pretend like it's true because it's funny.
Yeah. As you should.
Yeah. Alright, so you do see Sedge ganking, forcing the flash from Joel.
Yeah. Have patience though. Not overcommitting to the gank, just letting Joel burn his sump for free. I will say it's like it's like really funny seeing that Cam down CS versus the Sejuani. Sejuani clear is like kind of slow, so but he did get the gank off, so it's like even trade. But
it's not the best setup for Sedge here. I'm noticing because there's only the one melee, which is Kayn.
Yeah, but I think they're literally just picking it to BCC and not actually for the Sedge synergies,
right?
So, which is also fine. Like, fun fact, this champion is still useful without 5 melee champions.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Could possibly be true.
DC champions are useful without setup. That's crazy, bro. Wild concept or something.
So we do have, obviously, first dragon spawned. Neither team is really actively playing for it.
Yeah. Another hook coming out from Teddy. Does not hit.
Washed.
In theory, I'd say red side has more prio for this dragon right now. I think Ziggs with the push is like a little bit faster than Syndra. And then Thresh Ezreal is also just like a little bit better than the other team right now. Looks like Cam is looking for a gank topside here. A hook landing from Teddy with the Ezreal going in. Does manage to chuck out Mythic here, and another kill going onto the
no way Kayn lives here.
Thresh here. Kayn does manage to live, which is really unfortunate for the.
Yeah, Teddy's been really on point with these hooks this game.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy. Avery is down like 20 CS, so that's really fucking funny. It's kind of a bad trade because I think Aatrox ult is a little more valuable than Kayn ult right now, but it's like fine. He still has TP, whereas Kayn still has Ignite. Looks like Kayn is gonna go for the Dirk. Could probably be a Duskblade setup. We'll see though. Alana did opt for the tabbies, the plated steel caps as well, which is like fine here. I think the Ziggs on solo AP makes it so that armor has just more effectiveness in this game, so I kind of like the tabbies, the plated buy from her. So
Really good poke on the Stanley there.
Yeah.
And I will note Joel CS,
Yeah.
almost 10 over, 10 over Stanley. That's one of the things that Joel is, notable for is his CS is always absolutely cracked no matter what.
Yeah, and it looks like they're just leveraging the Thresh lane prio to just fucking walk around the map and follow their Rek'Sai. They're so fucking strong. They're just moving his 3 here, trying to force Lana out of their own jungle. So this is like a decent play.
Yeah, the advantage of it is, a lot of pressure in the top side, but Kathy is really struggling to farm here because it's a 2v1, and one lane that you do not want being able to free farm is the Karthus Senna lane.
Yeah.
In the long run.
Yeah. But they do manage to trade this for the Herald. It looks like Alana is gonna figure that play out and look to start the Dragon here, so they're trading Herald for Dragon. In theory, this is more gold to the side of Red Team. However, Dragons do tend to scale a bit better because they offer more permanent stats.
Right.
I mean, gold is a permanent stat, obviously, but it's like there's like potential for Dragon Soul stacking, stuff like that, rather than just a temper or like a cash inflow for item spikes. So
right.
Looks like they are positioning down for this Dragon fight. They do want to fight this year. Looks like Avery is still trading pretty heavily with the Kayn here. Did they get anything? Doesn't look like it. They're still fishing for this play. Hong is still looking. Rek'Sai is looking. The ulti comes out from the...
No!
The hook coming out from Teddy, managing to hit. And the ulti right on top for Kathy. Another kill for the Ezreal. This bot side is fucking so worth.
I swear any other support player in that server goes to that flash Q, we look like fools.
Yeah, Teddy managing to pull that off was really good. The flash really Q from Thresh is almost always bait.
Oh, wow.
Because of the delay, but another really well played from Kathy managing to live on 1 there. And getting the Herald charge, and they're just picking up like 8 different kills, flashing out of the Karthus.
Oh, but there's a double
the ulti coming out. Looks like only 1 so far. And the W coming out from the center, managing to pick 2 up, which is pretty good for them, honestly. They don't get Thresh shut down though, so it's like chill.
God, Thresh shutdown. It at least feels the worst to have shutdowns on these melee supports, because
you are trying to play as engaged, which
especially whenever you don't have that aftershock as well. It just disincentivizes going, which is kind of like your whole deal. But Teddy the goat, he simply won't die.
Surely.
Oh, Kayn going for the solo
Ignite coming out. And the solo kill does manage to come out. Good ulti and Ignite from Blake here.
Yeah, really well played.
You should get Rost up
form, yeah.
Should get Rost and an item, I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
really massive power, or spike here.
Yeah, and should get a play, honestly.
Looks like he's back and close. I'm not sure the minions are gonna take it. He tries TPing in, but yeah, Kayn's just gone. Teddy did go for the locket here.
Yeah.
Makes
like Alana is getting collapsed on. The play coming out, the hook comes out, Cam unburrowed, so he has no knockup for this, but
Set should be
let's manage to pick it up still. It's like they are still gonna try to look for this bot down. Yeah. Don't want to keep looking for this play, which is fair, but they do manage to get the free pick onto the Sejuani. Cam is making this Rek'Sai champion look actually good, so props to him. And it looks like it should be a...
He still doesn't have form. Should be on next guy, for sure this time.
I think he's actually just going to wait for Shadow and play for Shadow Game, which is really funny.
Yeah, I mean, you have, 4 squishy... I guess Rex is going Bruiser build, so it's only... It's only really 2 squishies, I guess.
It doesn't really matter, though. Like, Blue Kayn is, like, way better than Red Kayn right now, so I think it's fine. The difference between Red Kayn and Blue Kayn is like huge right now, so
we love it here. Everyone, actually, no matter which Kayn is strong, it sucks. Never mind. Kayn should just. I will not share my opinions on Kayn. We have too many Kayn players in the server for me to share my opinions on Kayn.
Yeah, surely. But anyways.
Wait, what is Kayn going? He's going for Eclipse, I guess, instead of the.
Who?
Wait.
Mythic is going. That looks like the Borg setup that Blake always talks about. They do have Blake on their team, so it looks like Dean is going for
when you have Blake shouting in your ear.
Yeah, the Leandri's here.
Lord.
Something like that. The ghost popped from the Kayn here. Just spam emoting. Blake complaining about me being his #1 dick rider. Cam's been in your lane like 5 times, bro. I don't know. Looks like Stanley is looking for the play onto Joel here. Does manage to trade decently.
Are you able to see Kane form in this? I don't.
Yes, but I think Dean is not at the computer, so. Looks like.
Got the defensive Zigzalt coming out.
Yeah, just leaving before anything else happens.
Stay away from my friend.
Something like that. Like, is looking for the angle for this fight. The Hextech Hextech Dragon is being pinged right now. Cam should be on timers for that if he bases after golems, which he should because he's intelligent. I think sometimes.
Golems.
Krugs, golems, same thing. They're rocks, bro.
Yeah, they're rocks. All right, so you do have dragons spawning.
Yeah.
Or it's like midwives are heading down there, but
Ocean Drag is really good for the side of blue team, but Hex Dragons typically scale faster. Oh, can you actually tell? Yeah, I knew it. You could actually.
We can't see because of the fucking ads. So.
Yeah, that's really fucking funny. But yeah, it looks like Midwise is just looking to set up the dragon here. Blake is attempting to proxy here, but he might be able to get out. Has a level advantage onto the Aatrox here, but what else is really happening? Looks like this dragon play is being spotted out, but they should be able to finish it in time.
Yeah.
Gam's not a griefer.
Yeah.
Yeah, does manage to pick it up. There was potentially an avenue for like a blast plant play, but I guess they didn't want to opt for it. It is a little flippy, so. Looks like they still are trying to position for this bot lane play. They know Sedge is here. Hong is still looking. This was the very funny looking lantern. The planter comes in. Dean is here. The fucking Ezreal ulti coming out, and the Rek'Sai ulti to drop tower aggro. Still managed to get picked up by the Karthus though, and Kathy gets 2 more kills. This Ezreal is sort of popping off. The Shadow Cane is here though, and it looks like Hong will die.
And there goes the shutdown.
Yeah. Huge shutdown over to the Blue Cane. So this is a little rough. Blue Cane is like the last champion on Earth you want fed. Like the champion's so fucking cringe. Good flash from Joel to win the play there. So he is opting for the mana man, which is really funny. Does he have ulti? And another shutdown comes out onto the Ezreal. Kathy eating super early there. Yeah.
Yeah, I will say, you know, Kathy was very fed, you know, 4-1. There's a Blue Cane in the game now. You
are no longer as fed as
you are no longer allowed to have fun.
Yeah. Oh, super well played. From Blake though, just knowing you have ulti, so you can just dive the pesky little Ezreal. Looks like they're opting for second Herald here, which is super good. Trying to accelerate their gold as much as possible.
You were too late.
Yeah.
So there are no objectives up in the short term, so it looks like we are going to see some shenanigans in the jungle here, potentially going for a dive in mid.
Yeah, they're just going to drop the Herald here and look to dive Staniel, which is like a fair play. Blake is here. He has the read on this play. Looks like Stanley is getting dove on here.
Oh, this is the play!
Does manage to live the dive though. Oh, never mind. The second tower shot does manage to do enough. The nuclear Ziggs ulti kills
holy shit!
The Ziggs damage is coming out from the ranges. The Hong is dead here once again. Blake is on a rampage. This game champion's super cool, I think.
Yeah, Kaden is just able to do what he wants. I mean, really good rotation from Blake there. Certainly was not assisted by being the fastest fucking champion in the game, going through walls. But I was a good.
Well, he was there, like on the play. Like he had the read. Like it was a good read.
So I'm just mad.
Well, it is spotted out here, but not much they can really do.
Yeah.
Cam is opting for the Stride Breaker into Black Cleaver. This is a pretty common Rek'Sai setup after Prowler's Claw got removed. You don't have like the instant dash W combo. You just try to slow them with the stride and then hit them with the knockup kind of thing. So
I feel like Midwife's comp is well, now that Rek'Sai is starting to slowly, become less and less relevant. They're facing a bit of an issue of lack of peel in these fights. Thresh is simultaneously the engage and the peel. And if he engages, Kane just goes to your backline, and if he doesn't engage, then they just slowly whittle you down with the Karthus Syndra.
Yeah, this is like the problem with drafting Rek'Sai though. You get 3 kills early game and then you just do fucking nothing because your team's worthless after that. So, but yeah, Blake also getting like a lot of kills, able to start snowballing onto the blue cane here. So,
I swear to God, our team is built like JDG. I want to be ruler so bad.
So true.
You're the team fight god.
Yeah.
Certainly, so far I've been I can agree on that. I find you guys have been playing the fight very well. Now that you've actually seen team fights.
Yeah.
As ruler,
like Alana does finish up the Radiant Virtue. This is pretty standard Sejuani stuff. Just trying to be as tanky as possible. Opting for the Sunfire, which is like kind of ick. IML, you could just build support items and be super tanky regardless. You don't need Sunfire on this character, but it's like fine as long as you get tanky kind of thing.
Oh, Axiom Arc, we love Axiom Arc on Kane.
Yeah, just like to have permanent uptimer is really funny. Hong is looking for a play onto Dean here. Has a bit of an angle. Does with both of his abilities though. The center root does come out, and the Karthus is kiting him out. Looks like he gets exploded by the fucking Ezreal though. And Cam going in onto the center 4v5. My brother in Christ, you have no one with you, and it looks like the kill does go over to the side of Milky Way. 2 for 1. Cam in balls deep for absolutely nothing, I guess. I think you for sure killed the center there, my brother in Christ. Come on, man.
Yeah, I feel like this game is slowly falling through the midwife fingers. They had their chance in the early game. They got a lead, but then as soon as Blue Cane popped up from inside their walls, the house is crumbling around them.
Yeah. That's just sort of what happens when you pick Rek'Sai and can't snowball the game efficiently. But yeah, how many souls does Senna have? Can you cover that again? Is that 60?
Looks like 50? 50.
I feel like 50 is kind of low for this point in the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's been hard because first of all, they were their enemy bot lane was so strong in lane, but then also when it's just the Ezreal, first of all, so safe. Second of all, only one target to hit for the souls.
I think also, like, aren't you supposed to rotate over to jungle camps and like take golems timers when those are up? Like,
I mean, it really
it's just like
lane
you have to sequence. You have to sequence them with your camps.
Because if your wave is shoved at the time, then you're giving up the soul camps for the wave souls for the camp souls, in which case it's probably not worth it.
Yeah, it's like 4 souls though. It's like 3 souls from golems, and then you can get like 3 more from raptors. Looks like Cam does manage to spot out the Karthus here and just get obliterates him with the combo. That's crazy.
Okay, the blast gun gets him out.
Does manage to get out here with the empowered blast guns. Going wide because I think Kane is for sure hittable in walls. By the way, promise. Yeah, this Aatrox kind of hasn't done anything versus the Kane, which is very funny, but
yeah, didn't have the best lane, and then now obviously is now
just getting out roamed because Blake can walk through walls, cheat codes, you know.
We are seeing the what do you call it? So the variant is up. They've been in some cases just like fighting over nothing, I guess turrets, right? But if we see one of those plays in that area, just 1 or 2 kills onto midwives, and I mean with the Karthus Senna, you take Baron quite quickly, so that's always a dangerous sound over their heads.
Yeah, but Milky Way.
Oh, they're just going for it.
Looks like they're just gonna start it up. Blake has spotted out the play. Looks like there's 4 people on it though. He's looking for the W poke. There's an argument that midwives should just like burn this, but they opt to turn off of it instead. Aatrox, the fucking this Kane champion is pretty hittable, by the way. Hong missing every ability. The Karthus ult's coming out, and it looks like there's this fight here.
Can't even land a single hook on Kane, SMH.
So true. Looks like the Syndra combo is coming out, looking to stun people up. Avery is looking for Dean Jones here on the sideline, trying to get the kill onto the Karthus, but is currently not able to.
He gets flashed, but Karthus is gonna be leaving. Go grab the red ball.
Yeah.
Aatrox's TP is coming up soon. Dragon's wasn't up for a while, but if
there's no pile on this Dragon. I think it's just everyone should try to play around the Baron. Avery should be inside lanes looking to shove out bot lane and then TP over when he has a good angle.
Stanley just got a free turret there.
Yeah. But overall, Rek'Sai just really needs to look for these flanks in order to try and get good picks. But it looks like Milky Way is just also trying to do the same thing with like the Kayn. Like you're just sitting there trying to W people over walls and nuke them before the fight starts.
Midwives does still have a very slight gold advantage, but
yeah,
a lot of that gold on Milky Way sits in the Kayn with
that's where you want all your gold, because this champion can never give a shutdown to save his life. So
yeah.
So you're like pretty okay with having all the gold on the Kayn, and then the other two you just sit there and buy time for.
Right. I mean, your other lanes that aren't close to the gold are Syndra, Karthus, and Senna, who
they all
nice, but they scale regardless.
I mentioned, yeah. So you're sort of just playing the clock here and waiting for your side lanes to push up or scale up while you just dick the entire team.
Cam's playing a little bit ballsy here.
Yeah. Cam does get the knock up onto the Kayn. The full combo coming out. The ulti comes out from the Kayn onto the...
Oh, really nice play going into the team. Kayn's still alive, of course.
Kayn really played that super well. Getting the Dustblade proc to become invulnerable during the middle of all that CC. Kathy got really caught out there by the... combo, and it looks like Avery is trying his best, but the Gore Drinker is not enough, and it looks like
not if your entire team is not at below half health.
Yeah,
but
and it looks like they are just gonna rotate over into the Baron. So pretty good play. I think Stanley also found a really good ball combo onto the Ezreal. It was just like a really weird position fight. Like it started off really well because Kayn got the ulti.
Right.
Or Kayn ultied into the Rek'Sai, which is kind of not what you want. But he just managed to buy enough time to get away from it. Stanley Blast coding away the Rek'Sai here. He's still gonna look for the
really nice stun there.
Not enough. Wow. Comes out, but a little early, and Karthus does manage to pick it up. Stanley does manage to pick up the Syndra, but Cam does get over to Kathy. The kill does finally go over to Kathy onto the blue Kayn, so a decent bit of gold. Joel is still really strong, 206. Hasn't really given over his shutdown either, so looks like they are going to try to start this dragon. This is pretty back and forth so far, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, even with that shutdown though, 1,000 gold, Milky Way is pulling ahead by
a little bit.
I think in terms of mental, losing the Baron obviously is not optimal, but getting that shutdown on your strongest carry is definitely a bit, I think, reinvigorating. So hopefully we see. I want to see Kathy, challenger Ezreal just outplays,
Yeah, of course. It looks like second, or I don't know what I'm about to say. Anyways, but yeah, second dragon going over to the side of Midwives, evening out the dragon count. Just delaying the soul spike for both teams. Chemsoul is kind of worthless. Like, it's not that great, but it's still like a decent. It's still like a soul you should try to contest at some point. Yeah, but like delaying this spike just makes the scaling go through the roof for the side of blue team because there's no like kind of win con for them. Okay, I'm looking for a Stanley here. The ulti coming out from the Ziggs, and no good flash from Stanley to prevent himself from dying here. Aatrox does have the whole breaker with the drinker, which is really funny looking. And it looks like the Kayn does have 3 items and is really fucking strong. I imagine he's gonna try to finish the mana immune here when he bakes his.
He's been sitting out here for a hot minute.
Yeah, but Kayn would rather just have like other AD items and mana immune. Yeah, and Alana is doing a good job just like hovering him, so.
Yep.
But yeah, you see the CS difference is like not that great for the Rek'Sai, and like Sejuani just scales better. So one of these champions is more useful than the other at 30 minutes, and it is not the Rek'Sai. Fun fact. So
Guess which, yeah.
yeah, and it looks like
the 1v1 here, or I guess just a little poke, just a little as a little treat.
Yeah, Avery cannot punish this Kayn, and the Kayn can just do whatever he wants. So not much is really going to happen here. Yeah.
Wait, what is the Null Magic rifle for on the Senna? What's the Senna build?
It's
Board Locket?
Yeah, it's Board Locket.
Christ.
I believe if I remember Blake talking about it, it's Bork is like your best one item spike because it gives you like the most amount of damage.
Isn't Umbral the best one item spike?
No, Umbral apparently sucks on this champion. I'm quoting Blake, by the way. These are not my words. And then Locket just gives you tankiness, so you don't die immediately to every champion on Earth.
Bit of a bold play from Cam.
Yeah. He's really just trying to look for the Senna, but you see the Locket stats does manage to keep him alive there by a little bit, and this Rek'Sai is sort of just not useful now. And it looks like
when you have the Bruiser Rek'Sai, I feel like these solo like assassin kills are
not doable. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, they're just trying to look for this tower here. Stanley is trying to get some chips down with the Syndra combos. So the Syndra EQ.
I will say the only thing about the Umbral on Senna is that if he would have probably 1.5 if not 2 times the vision score here.
Yeah, looks like the Kayn combo did come out. Kathy is kind of half health, but not managing to kill. Another combo coming out from the Syndra just to stun him up.
Gather the weak.
Gather the weak. Yeah, that's what that's called. But yeah, both big objectives are still down for another minute or so, so nothing really happening.
These guys sizing each other up and diving into 5.
Yeah, but honestly, I think blue team is just outscaled red team, and it's just red team really needs to look for creative angles and try to find ways to cheat fights essentially. But Kayn sort of says, "No, I can walk the balls."
And then Green just goes and fucks around wherever else.
Yeah, Kev's still looking for these strong invades, but not really much able to be done. Blake does manage to get another tower on the blue Kayn here, bot side. Just trying to like get as much gold into his pockets as possible before this next fight. Dean might be caught here. Flash coming out from the Rek'Sai. The full combo comes out, and then the Ziggs ulti on top just barely manages to live.
Barely dodges that.
Does dodge the Ezreal ult. So Karthus should be kind of low, but I don't think it really matters because all Karthus really needs to do is press R and fight. He does manage to get C speed, and another kill. Huge combo from the side of Midwives. Does manage to pick off the Kayn right before Dragon, and this is kind of what I was talking about. You just have to fish for these picks, and pray the other team messes up more so than you play better in these fights, because they will just do better than you in team fights because of how their combo set up. So.
I mean, like we've seen, it's not like Thresh can peel because Kayn just moves out of the way.
Yeah.
So it's really just a matter of
you just have to fish for these picks, yeah. And they did manage to layer their CC super well there just to prevent the Kayn from ulting, so it's good play from them.
Yeah, and the dodges on the W and the Q were great because he couldn't ult.
Yeah, or just delayed his ult long enough.
Right, and you can't smite for the free ult on Kayn top, so...
True. I didn't think about that. You can ignite for it, though, which is really funny.
Oh, true? God.
Fun fact. Should have picked J4, like I said. That's almost like someone else called this in draft. That's crazy, bro. Anyways. Also, Wukong would have been crazy here, by the way, but that's #1 Wukong hater in the chat. Cam. Anyways. Looks like they should just be sizing each other up for Dragon. Looks like Cam is looking for another play onto the Karthus here. Does manage to get the Stridebreaker off. The Sentinel coming out, but it looks like he should be able to get the pick with the Starax. No. But Dean does trade 1-for-1 because Karthus does so much bot damage, and I think he canceled an auto, which is bad because 1-for-1s on blue side favor, or 1-for-1 with jungler favors them because now they can't do Baron.
Right.
Yeah, Kathy did.
He's taking a bit of damage. Oh my god, Kayn!
Holy shit! Flash over. Doesn't actually hit the onto the Kayn, but only half HP there.
Yeah. I would say Alana has been very quietly just playing really like solidly this game.
Yeah, I'm sure it's really hard to play solidly on Sejuani, surely.
I just think she's doing a good job, and I want to shout
Yeah,
out.
she is. I'm fucking clowning, bro. Yeah, just being super useful in these fights with the Sejuani, just sitting in the middle of your team and just preventing the enemy team from doing anything. But yeah, looks like they did send 2 bot. I don't know if Red Side has this read though, but they should just be positioning for Baron. It's the only objective on the map, and it's the only one that really matters right now. So weak side picks even in the jungle. Kind of true, honestly, but that's our weak side goat, baby.
Our weak side goat. Whatever gets the results, man. It works. It works.
Oh god, and it looks like Cam is still fishing. It does have the stacks and the stopwatch. Can maybe look for picks a little more efficiently.
Stopwatch really helps.
Yeah. Yeah, both teams are sort of just trying to push for mid control and then look for the Baron. That's like they only really play on the map currently, so Hong's looking for these deep wards so they can maybe try to cheese a pick here. The big vision cones, it does kind of fuck up their chances of that though, thanks to the Chemtexel. Looks like Stanley is fishing for the combo here. 6 bombs are trying to poke out the enemy team. The fucking Q onto the half his HP has to flash out. They're just trying to position for these fights. Avery is still bot lane. Does have the TP, so they might look for the angle on the here. But yeah, I think Kane is for sure hittable by CC.
It happened once.
The Syndra is TPing back into this fight. They don't have any vision on it, so they don't know it's a 5v4.
Aatrox also has TP here.
He's just trying to poke out here. Yeah, the Aatrox should have TP here. Might just look for a long flank. No, he's still trying to position for the spot wave. Oh, good hook onto the Senna here.
Oh, wow.
Pick. But Kane does have the angle. He does manage to fucking destroy her. And the Karthus ult coming out. But Avery is here. Alana is buying so much time on the front line though. The Karthus is just ripping apart the enemy team. But the Aatrox is here, baby! That is the enemy, but unfortunately Blake is still alive and does manage to pick up the rest of the team there.
At least staying alive that whole time and just, you know, being Syndra, disrupting the whole fight. Really, really well played. And then, of course, you have Blake staying alive in the background there. That was really, really well played.
That was a really good angle. Blake just like fishing it out Kathy sums and then managing to kill her. That's just what Blake does.
Not the fastest.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You have all the time in the world. You can even stall maybe for your Karthus to get it if you really want. But it's like a little hard to do that. So it looks like they're just going to try to finish. Yep. And that's like, once again, we see blue team has kind of outscaled the Karthus, kind of just able to do whatever he wants because the Kayn is able to kill the Ezreal in every fight. Looks like they should just try to set up for the soul now.
Karthus is picking up a potion, just trying to close out this game.
Yeah, recognizing that the next fight is probably the last, super good here. Pathing straight for the dragon. That's the next fight, and then yeah.
You know, no TPs for. Oh no, Ziggs has TP, but
yeah, Kathy is trying to go for the Frozen Heart here, last item, I think, which makes a lot of sense. But honestly, it's maybe too little, too late for that. Kayn with the Edge of Night here. This item is so fucking good on Assassins right now. See, like you can hit the hook on Thresh now, and now he has like another timer to prevent it. Aatrox is trying to box with the Karthus here. The ulti coming out from the Kayn, just fucking melting the Ziggs here. Karthus does manage to get killed by the Aatrox here, but does take all of his HP for it, and it looks like the health advantage on the side of red team is too low. Cam does manage to steal it though. Good fight, but it looks like the rest of the team is kind of dead, so they have no sustain for the rest of this fight. Hong is looking to pick off the Ezreal here. Kathy probably is just rotted, and the ulti comes off from the Kayn. It's already back up thanks to Axiom Arc, and it looks like another clean sweep to the side of Milky Way.
How do you just brought Kayn right to you? Or I guess Kathy is. Kathy brought Kayn right to you. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Wait, did Syndra get the execute off on Ezreal? Is that what happened?
I think that was the fight.
It went on Zig, right?
That was the Baron fight before.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I mean, with that Baron pressure, you know, despite not getting the soul, they got so many turrets.
They never care. This soul is fucking worthless. Like, the Darkside champion's so dog awful right now. Like, there's literally no point. Oh, they got Syndra on the Baron fight. That makes a lot of sense.
Yes, they was able to stay alive really well on that, and then it, you know, nearly picked them off.
Yeah, it looks like they should just try to ARAM it up or spread their pressure, get these
Oh wait a minute, with this blue buff, is that going to be the Flame Horizon for the bot lane?
Yeah.
Quite hard to farm on, you know, the solo Ezreal lane, but
I think that Karthus has just hit more waves than Kathy though. Like, they've just looked for more waves and tried to scale up, whereas Kathy's tried to be in more fights, which is kind of fair. Uario like teams only damage, so it is a little rough TM. Yeah, Cam is still desperately trying to look for these plays on the rock side, but unfortunately your champion is not useful any longer, sir. And then the Edge of Night just making any play impossible onto the Kayn. Like, you could hit like 10 abilities on him, but he can just eat through the walls after you miss the first one, so.
Another 1,000 gold.
Yeah. Probably would have went for GA instead of Hullbreaker. Yeah, but I think he was also their only side lane pressure, so
yeah,
I don't
Hullbreaker was really important for the early mid game.
Yeah, but he just wasn't able to do a whole lot in these team fights in general. Blake has just had the better rotates on him, so. But yeah, mostly just waiting for blue team to scale, I guess. I don't know.
LDR on Senna. I'm not sure I love that.
What?
The LDR on Senna.
It's like fine. You're arguably still like stupid squishy, so like it doesn't really interfere with your locket. I do like Alana actually buying the Knight's Vow, just building support items, like I said, just putting it onto your Senna, just to try to keep them alive a little longer. Blake is fishing for this. The ulti comes out, the stopwatch came out from Joel, but it's a little too late. Or too early, so that the damage still goes off and Kayn is there, and it looks like the Karthus ulti coming out, and it looks like he's just fucking dead. They're looking for a fade turn on Stanley. They do manage to get it, so 1-for-1 here is not terrible, because you are buying a little more time for yourselves on the red team, but...
That shot? Sedgel on Rek'Sai with the exhaust.
Yeah. It looks like he is able to get out. Kathy and Hong are on their way, but Ezreal is simply just not as strong as he needed to be.
Yeah, I mean this is a long game, and like we said from the very beginning, these champions are getting stronger and stronger and stronger.
Yeah, can we get a Senna soul check since there's nothing else happening on the map? 134.
34.
Is that a 34?
I think it's a 114.
Is that 114, 134? Can you type it out, Dean? Because I'm blind.
Can you type it out?
He can just like DM me or something. I don't know. Okay. Okay, my bad, bro.
Yeah, 114. I mean, not on me. At this point, Senna didn't really have, like we were talking about earlier, the chance early game. I mean, it doesn't matter if 100 souls is 100 souls, even if it's at 40 minutes. She still has the range and the power and everything.
Yeah, it's pointless. Like, he's still like super strong. Like, yeah, I'm being pedantic over like small numbers for fun.
Well, we do see Anathema's on Thresher.
Yeah, this is like a common tank build strat. It's like Anathema is like the best one item block. It's like that it is just getting exploded by the fucking.
I mean, if it was
in Karthus, the ulti coming out from Syndra to half health, the Aatrox here.
Jesus.
Yeah, the Syndra has scaled so fucking hard. Who did he put the Anathemas on?
It's gotta be Kayn, right?
Is it Karthus? Yeah, Karthus.
I actually can't read the icon.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. But yeah, Rek'Sai does manage to pick off the Karthus here. The ulti comes out from the Kayn. It looks like it's another pick. Should be a Baron. Try to transition to the end, maybe.
Yeah, I think that this time they have a Senna to hit the Baron.
You certainly do.
But I think they're gonna back and then gear up for
Yeah.
the final.
The final push.
Different pages
Is
here.
Mythic just ignore the 2 souls? That's kind of Sigma. That's kind of base.
He said, I don't need him. I don't need him. Gonna win anyway.
Yeah, it looks like Alana is going for a redemption by here, 5th, which is interesting. It's pretty good. Just getting more healing onto your champions. Looks like they are gonna go for the Elder. I mean, if red side can get this Elder, there's maybe a fight angle you can take, but it is like a very tall order to try to get through this team.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're looking for the play here.
So hard to
think power somewhere, but Chem is not up for like. Chem is just starting to walk over. The Karthus ult does come down. The Aatrox ulti, he is going in, is taking as much damage as he possibly can, but is getting obliterated by the 5 enemy champions. And then the Rek'Sai does take the time though. But the Syndra damage is just too much, and the Elder Dragon is taken. They have both the Omega buffs, and they should just walk it mid and end the game at this point. Blake can just sit in the walls and just make it so that red team can never walk up.
I mean, that's a dead. Oh.
He's calling for fun. It doesn't really matter. Literally walk through walls cheat is active now.
Hello.
Blake doing a little bit of content throwing. No. But it looks like this game is over. Yeah. They just walk into their base. Dean flash exhausting for fun. A little bit of ego. The ulti does whiff from the Senna. Interesting display from the side of Milky Way. Super good.
Yeah, I like that draft.
Everything we talked about. Rek'Sai was not able to get ahead enough, and they were able to just snowball the game super hard. Fun fact, Rek'Sai is not a good champion, as we have discussed, but super well played from the side of Milky Way. Really good showing. I think I liked a lot of their draft. Just executing on a lot of stuff that they did well. Their team does well. The Sejuani was a really solid pick. Alana was able to mitigate a lot of Cam's pressure just by being a more useful champion and scaling up into the later portions of the game. Blake on the top Kane kind of fucking rolled Avery. Played it super well.
One lane
able to use that Shadow Assassin dominance and just run through the entire team. So super well played from the side of Milky Way. Yeah. All right, you got anything else?
Yeah, well played to both teams. I think that everyone on Midwives played really well, but they just got draft gaps. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think they just weren't able to execute on like the Rek'Sai win condition, which is like what you wanted your R5 to be. Right. So, and it's like kind of hard to execute on like a Rek'Sai draft because it's like you have to like get everything perfect, otherwise the game is just not playable.
Right.
All right.
I think that's game 1.
Do you want us to talk for another 3 minutes, Dean, or do you care?
3 minutes of stuff to say, sure, but
I don't know. Like, do you have any predictions for the other game, Jacob? While we're here,
I don't know. Avery and I got that. Y'all are done. Once you start talking about our game,
the other game is my game, correct?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you did play it. If you want. Hold on. I can predict if you want. Let me clown around real quick.
Okay. I also literally just set the times as like my guesses of how long it would take based on like game length.
Yeah.
So it's not like a timeline that we have to stick to at all. I'd rather just hop into the next game so that we can.
Wait, I want to hear Mason's prediction real quick.
Hold on.
Oh yeah, Mason's prediction that he definitely didn't hear from like some.
I don't actually know the results. Relax. I don't actually know the results. Still. Jeez, bro. I'm gonna say Meta Bully win the game there.
All right.
Okay.
Now we'll see what happens.
All right. Cool. Well, my USB driver just crashed, so I'm hoping that everything's working as it's supposed to. Avery, can you talk real quick so I can hear you?
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
The stream is loading right now, by the way. Or it's like, I don't know if that's me. Hold on, let me double check.
It's
not the USB.
It says it's good.
Debacle.
I've dropped 82 total frames, so we're good. I just think it's a OBS issue. crashes my desktop RGB and then everything goes wrong. But anyway, the next game we are getting into is Metabullies versus the Rats. We did just see the ending of our game, so Milky Way is going to advance into the winner's stage, and Midwives is going to be the first team in the loser's bracket, which means they'll be in the last match of the day. So we will see them fight for their chance to stay in at the end of the day. But what is your prediction for the Rats versus Metabullies? I assume you know the results, so if you do, we can just skip over the prediction, but...
I mean, I do know the results.
Yeah, okay. Bad idea on my part. We'll just hop into the highlights. You can see my screen okay?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay. Well, even if we do know the results, we don't really know how the game played out, which is in our favor.
Right.
And our key matchup here is Gruer versus Hadiri, which I think is kind of a banger. Gruer is more of an established mid laner, whereas Hadiri has recently just swapped to playing a bunch of mid. Looks like they've already played each other 5 times already. I was not aware that Hadiri had a huge leg up in this matchup. It's actually 3-2 overall, with basically a 4 KDA. We can actually see the 5 champions that each of them have played, and looks like 5 completely unique champions with some absolute bangers coming out. We have Rakan mid, we have Vayne mid, we have Cassante, Tom Kench. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this matchup in particular?
I think since, like we said, Gruer is a much more established mid laner, I think if the matchup is a lot more standard, I think we might see Gruer eke out the edge. I think Hadiri definitely has like a lot of pocket picks. I think he crowns himself as the fill like god. He can play any role, so I think he has a lot of picks that he can just push around to any role. Like you said, he has the Rakan that he played there, which was pretty interesting. I think I watched that game, but his Swain is really good. He can play some of these like other long range artillery mages like the Ziggs. So I think if he can. Especially if he can pull out something that Gruer isn't expecting, we'll see the matchup tossed up a lot. But I think the more standard the matchup, probably the higher the edge goes to Gruer. That's my prediction.
Yeah, I mean, I think something to note is maybe just looking at Hadiri overall, his KDA and stat line in mid lane isn't great. 2.29 and then 17 to 21. Definitely compared to Gruer specifically, so I think Hadiri might just have a versus Gruer buff, which is kind of interesting, and I think a lot of that could be coming from what you said. But looking at Gruer overall, 4.32 KDA over that many games, it's almost 75 at this point. I think that's like 72. That's nuts. He is 47 in 25. Obviously, a lot of that comes from being on a team that goes 9-1 and then wins the season, but still, credit goes to him where credit is due. Moving on to the key player, Taxi is the AD carry for the Metabullies. Do you have anything to say about him? He's actually played 100 games before this one, which is significant. But
I think just like we were looking at the stats before, just looking at these stats, especially over the amount of games played, 54% win rate is nothing to scoff at, and he's played a lot of unique champions as well. I haven't seen him play as much AD carry. I think I've seen him play like some Ezreal and some Varus, and he's definitely had pretty good performances on those when I've seen them. I wouldn't say bad by any means, but I see this Draven here. I kind of want to see some Draven.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. But I'm not sure if he'll pick any of those mages in the bot lane.
Yeah,
because I know he was a mid laner, so I don't know if he'll do that. But I mean, I'm interested to see as well.
Yeah, and then moving on, Jeremy is actually subbing for the Rats this game. Normally they're going to have Arnier, I think, in all their other games, but Jeremy has played all over the map, I think mostly support, but it looks like some jungle and some top lane, and I believe he's playing top lane in this game. 28 games, 54% win rate, very solid KDA, close to 4. One of our newer players to the server. I don't know if I've gotten to play with him yet, maybe a couple of games, but really excited to see him perform in this game.
Yeah, definitely a really strong support player from what I've seen. I haven't personally seen the results or the games from any of the roles that he's played outside of that, I think. So if he's playing top lane, that'll be something completely new for me, but definitely a player that deserves some respect from the gameplay I've seen.
Yep, and we can go to the champs to watch. It looks like this is his first top lane game, so that could be a little bit interesting. Pari's champion to watch is the Udyr 1-0, but I think those who know him know that the Kayn is actually the one to look out for. I would imagine that got banned this game. Stav and Jacob, the Twitch Nami, those are pretty obvious picks. I believe Hadiri's played like 6 games of Swain and then 1 game of everything else. So that might get taken off the table as well. But looking on the other side, this we know about. Like, Noam on the Nautilus, 11-1. Taxis, Ezreal, as you mentioned before. Gruer, 9-1 on the Syndra. And then Jonah and Bean on the Shyvana and Mordekaiser. This is the chalk. We figure that these champions are on the radar. What do you think that the Rats are going to try and ban away from this team?
I definitely think that the Syndra is on the table. Just a super apparent pick that you don't really want in the hands of Gruer. I think Jonah and Apari actually have pretty similar jungle styles. They like to play really aggressive early and try to like look for those early advantages. So I think Jonah played a lot of Rek'Sai during a previous season. We might see some attention go to that. Yeah, and I think Taxi's ADC pool is a little up in the air, I think, because he hasn't played it as much, but you might see some attention thrown towards those tank supports for Gnome, like the Nautilus and I think maybe the Leona as well.
Yeah, and not trying to spoil some of our drafts later on, but I think the Twitch and Kayn are definitely some bans we're going to expect to see coming out from the meta bullies, but I don't really have too many predictions. I'd rather just go ahead and take a look at the draft, which...
Okay.
Hopefully I copied and pasted, but I'm going to go ahead and double check just so I don't show a draft that we've already seen. Be a little bit of an oops, but this should be it. We are seeing Twitch and Kayn banned away, and it looks like they took the Kalista away from Stav as well, another champion he's pretty comfortable on. You were right about the Syndra, and we're also seeing Echo, and the Draven's actually taken away. They did not want to deal with that. Maokai, first pick, thoughts on that one?
I think Jonah had some games on Maokai as well. Maokai's kind of just been a menace in the jungle for a little while. Definitely a strong first pick. Definitely a strong jungle pick, and it looks like the way the rest of their draft played out, a pick that Meta Bullies really appreciates. Definitely an ability to lock down targets, play for the team, like a more supportive style, which I think Jonah can definitely handle as well.
Yeah, I mean, you love the early game jungle and then skilling lanes. That's a classic. And then on the other side, we are seeing they're not a Lucian locked in. Very aggressive and powerful lane early. Stav is definitely comfortable on the Lucian. I've seen a lot of it. Renata is a bit of a newer champion for Jacob. We haven't seen too many games on him, but glad to see him splash into something new. It's matched by Jinx Milio. This really comes down to execution. Jinx Milio, if you're able to play safe, which you should be able to with the Milio disengage, and just the general range and the traps from Jinx, theoretically should have a much stronger late game. So it's up to the Lucian Renata if they're able to get things done aggressively in the early game. And then we are seeing that Swain from Hadiri picked in. It's completely blind, but they are able to cover a couple bans for it, which we see in the Victor and Silas later on in the draft. Next 3 picks are jungle. If you have that jungle insight, you can tell me about the Zac and the jungle bans coming out from the other side.
I mean, they already took care of the Kayn. I think like the priority, I might go as like Kayn, Viego, and Evelyn. So they got 2 out of 3 of those. I think Zac is a champion that Apari likes to fall back to if a lot of his carry junglers are banned out. And I think Zac has really good setup for the rest of the Rats. Definitely, especially with this low mobility mid laner and weak early bot lane for the meta bullies, I think that Zac can put in a lot of work across the map here. So definitely a really good pickup for Apari.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. Moving on to the Rise, that pick I really love. You know that the 2 carries that are usually going to be ranged, you have mid and bot, are both pretty short range actually. Swain and Lucian struggle to deal with longer range champions, which means that Rise is pretty safe. You're able to run up, get the root, and just run away, which means that your Jinx is pretty safe, and Rise isn't going to get punished as much as you would if you're playing into a longer range comp. Gnar, I don't really like as much. You don't have a bunch of squishy targets that you're looking to line up, and if Big Gnar goes in and starts punching people on his own team, that could be pretty bad. But I don't hate it, and Gnar is obviously a really good blind pick, so it's pretty solid.
I definitely think that Jeremy's pick of the Jace is a pretty good pick into the Gnar.
Definitely.
I think Gnar when he's only ranged when he's in his mini, and kind of Jace, that's what Jace wants. He wants to like poke you when you're mini and then just like all in you, and you're super squishy. And I think Jace just has the upper hand in this lane. So definitely a really good R5 like counter pick to seal that top lane.
Yeah, I mean, when I see Gnar and I'm thinking like, like powerful counter picks, there's 3 that come to mind. One of them's banned in the Silas, and then Irelia is obviously only good if you're super good at Irelia. I mean, the matchup is super playable, but transitioning into the later game. So I think Jace is a super fine pick. It's definitely in my top 3 to look at here. I'm going to throw up the champ highlights and make sure that my game file's working. But as expected, Jace favorable matchup into Gnar so far. And the bot lane looks like it's kind of even. And unsurprisingly, we haven't seen Swain rise. But let me set the timer on this so it slows down a little bit for you if you want to talk about it. But...
Okay, yeah. Here, not a lot of data on the player matchups. So I think all the data we have is really just the champion matchups. But at least for this match, the players themselves haven't really played a whole lot against each other. We talked about how the mid lane matchup had been going between Brewer and Hadiri, and but between Gnome and Jacob, kind of a similar thing. Both matchups only a 1-game difference, so super contentious here to see who can come out on top. Whether they'll extend this lead mid lane or be able to even it up here.
Yeah, I mean, something I do want to mention is the Noam Jacob is kind of like a lore matchup. Both of those guys are good friends, so that one's always fun to see. We can just kind of tap through the rest of the game loaded in super fast because I'm not launching it from the client. Nothing really sticks out to me except for Jace has historically performed pretty well. Ryze has performed pretty poor. But everything else we've seen here, past performance, no one's really sticking out as super good or super poor on their champions. All the high game sample sizes are pretty even. So we can just go ahead and hop into the game here.
Okay.
I'm excited to see this one. So we are loading in onto the Rift. Do you expect an invade coming out from either of these teams? It's not really looking like it for me.
Yeah, not really. It doesn't look like either team really has a good early invade tool to rely on. But I definitely think that it's on the blue team here. It's on the meta bullies to kind of keep the pace of this game as slow as possible for them. I think if the Rats can find an angle or two with the Zac to blow open the game, it becomes a lot harder for meta bullies.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at top and bot lane, I think both of those lanes for the Rats do have solo kill pressure as well. Like, Jace should be able to find a kill on Gnar if he knows what he's doing, can manipulate the wave well, and Lucian or Nada, you're not picking to sit back and do nothing in lane, so...
Right.
If the bullies are able to keep it slow, I do think they're in a really good position this game. This is a pretty standard, like, you'll call it like an LCK draft or a Gen G draft or a KT, whichever the teams you like, but the general gist is you just want to play back safe, and then you get late enough in the game, and Ryze and Jinx are just going to do everything for you.
Yeah, one thing to look out, the Ryze, he only has flash, so his only way to avoid the Zac is either through right-clicking or a five-minute cooldown. So we'll definitely see maybe if Zac can make some periodic stops on that timer to keep this Ryze flashless and scared.
Yeah, he does have the phase rush, and his passive is basically just phase rush anyway. Does not help him dodge that early. He's starting off pretty poorly for him, but if he's already in combat, it's going to be pretty easy for him to dodge Zac, but if the Zac is the one that initiates it, he's in a pretty bad position. Looks
Yeah,
like
Renata.
yeah.
Oh, another E lands from the Swain. Yeah, Renata Lucian able to get the level 2 advantage here. But Taxi and Gnome not very far behind.
Yeah, it looks like Jace has been playing the lane just a little bit better. I really don't expect to see anything happen mid unless a jungler shows up. We do have the classic Maokai ganks for Brewer thing that always happens, but we'll see if that continues with Jonah instead of Logan.
Yeah, the junglers clearing counter to each other. Oh, see an all-in.
Yeah,
here on
Taxi's just going to
Taxi.
burn down there. Really good ignite from Jacob. Knows that it's going to be necessary to get that kill. And actually, Bean just grabs a solo kill there in the matchup where he should not have the advantage. Really good use of the early mega play. Big fan of that.
Being my minion, my goat. Yeah, a bot lane going kind of how we expected to. Not necessarily with Jinx dying, but the Lucian and Renata being able to pressure them pretty hard. But yeah, the Gnar able to come out with that solo kill on top of the Jace was really good.
Yeah, I mean, as the bullies, you don't want to see the Jinx fall behind early, especially down a couple waves of the CS at this point. But seeing your Gnar get ahead isn't something you can be too upset about. Jeremy's doing a pretty good job of staying even in CS, though. Ahead, actually.
Yeah, 3 summoner spells burned for the Meta Bullies bot lane, and Lucian still has both of his. Only the Ignite burned from Renata. So a really, really, really good play from them. Low investment, high reward.
Yeah, you need to stay scared of the solution, though. Unfortunately for him, he wasn't able to pick up the kill, which would have given a bit of a bigger advantage. But I mean, he has flash, so he's still going to be able to chase you down pretty hard. And when he spikes at 6, you're almost definitely going to die unless you play super respectfully.
Yeah, Zach sticking around bot here. Jinx's wave is pushing in. It looks like they're looking to freeze it as well.
Yeah, it looks like
Really
we're seeing the
tough
recall.
spot.
But here we go. Here's the Maokai gang for Brewer. Hidiri is getting bought back. Does get rooted up, but he's able to run out pretty quickly with the ghost there and keep himself alive. Something I'm finding interesting in the bot lane is that the exhaust is actually put on the Lucian instead of the Renata. Usually you see Lucian being the one to run the ignite because he's going to be farther forward. Would have mattered for who got that first kill, but Apari is now going in. Jonas dropping down to about half health. Does knock everyone away at the Q, and with the flash and phase draws, he's going to be able to escape. Bean going in for the trade, knocks down Jeremy. Getting low to about half health, and goes into Mega, gets the stun off, but really good buffer from the Jace to disengage the play.
Yeah, good trade overall from the Gnar. Unfortunately, his jungler is not topside to maybe look for this dive here. Looks like the play is just going to diffuse, but yeah, able to get the wave in. Probably going to get a recall here soon. Jinx, unable to get this wave in still, though.
Yeah, down about 13 CS. It does not put her in a good position. Able to keep up in XP, though, I'm pretty sure. Just going to double check real quick. Yeah, they're about even. Stav is going to spike off a little bit more as this wave crashes into tower, but you really just want to make sure that the Milio can hit 6 around the same that Lucian does, but they're falling down pretty low. Taxi's looking for some damage. Stav falls down really low, but no flash available on the Jinx, as you pointed out earlier, and I don't think enough mana for a Q auto either. So that trade earlier is paying dividends here. Able to keep Stav alive and not give Taxi the reset he would have needed, because they're for sure both dead if he hits it.
Yeah, not sure if they were getting a little overambitious, trying to hold their freeze even longer without their wave coming to back them up. But luckily, like you said, off their earlier play, they were able to get out alive.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard it around a little bit, but if Stav does not end up starting as a ADC next season, it would be a bit criminal. Guy is pretty good. Just want to give credit there, where credit's due. Knows his health, knows how much damage the Jinx is going to do. Holds his flash, holds his exhaust, knows he's safe, and just walks out.
Yeah, really good awareness.
Hidiri is getting an advantage here, gets the pull in. That's going to be a lot of damage. Hidiri has flash available to him, but he's just going to force out flash from Brewer instead, and he's happy with that trade.
Yeah, I mean, Ryze does have TP to get back to lane. Does have that summoner spell in place of the Swain's Ghost that he used off the earlier gank. So he's not missing out on too much, but definitely a close call. He comes back to lane and misses a fifth of his HP already, so he's not happy about that.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those things where you really have to consider like comfort over matchup. You're giving Hidiri his most played mid laner in the server in exchange for a matchup that you're hoping is going to give you the advantage, but Hidiri just seems to be playing it better. I think Ryze does have the advantage later in the game, but for now, definitely one-sided. Bean is going in, but again, huge knockback from the Jace, but now Gruer is in trouble. Apari going in on the Zac, and this is a lot of CC coming down. I don't see a world where Gruer gets out here. There's just too much CC from the other team, and Hidiri is able to pick up the kill, solidifying his lead in this matchup. And they're just going to start up this Infernal Drake at 8 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, Zac in the right place at the right time. His bot lane is in position to start the drag immediately after, too. And it doesn't really look like the meta bullies have a play in response. So, really big swing for the Rats here.
Yeah, I mean, with Stav being like a couple XP off of 6, you're not even sure if he's hit it yet. If he was able to grab like a Scuttle Crab or something, that could have gotten him there. So this play is super risky. Same thing goes for Inada. Both of those ultimates are super impactful. Jacob is walking up a little bit aggressively, does miss a Q, but they're not able to make a play off of it. Maokai was looking for a play, but steps into vision of the ward, so everyone's just going to disengage. But Stav was fishing there, has the 6, could have ulted, but he doesn't get in range for the auto and decides to back out of the play.
Yeah, I don't think that Jonah's going to be able to sneak in here. So, yeah, like I said, just not really a play in response for meta bullies.
Yeah, Jacob's just fishing for these Qs. If he's able to get one and he slams them together, then that might just be good night to the bot lane, but isn't looking like it so far.
Well, they should have seen the Maokai sapling being thrown in the bush there, so they know Maokai is still around. Yeah, it looks like they're just going to get their wave under here. Okay, big ult, but from
okay,
Gnar.
Bean's going in. Huge combo down there. I don't see any way where he gets out. But we are panning down. It looks like Stav's actually dropping low, but here comes the ulti. Milio ult is going to save them.
Yeah, it looks like this bot lane play is just going to diffuse. Unfortunately, Bean wasn't able to stay on the opposite side of the Jace, so was knocked away back towards his turret. Wasn't able to extend that play. But
yeah, I mean, we're seeing the phase rush. Phase rush flash popped from the Jace. It's going to get a lot done. Looks
especially
like he had a kill there,
top side.
Yeah, both junglers are headed that way. Looks like Zac's going to get there first. I'm not sure if they're going to try to force a play or not. The Rift Herald is up, so that could probably explain why they're both there. I was surprised that the Jace just didn't take it himself earlier.
I'm guessing Maokai isn't looking top because it looks like Gnar is just trying to shove this wave as fast as possible. But Zac is looking. Gnar's about to hit Mega again.
Yeah. Apari goes in, is not going to hit anything.
Yeah, Zac E misses, the Shockwave misses, or Shock Blast.
Yeah, I mean, I think the difference between a bad Gnar player and a good Gnar player is how well you can use your E, but he's just going in. Ultimate is not available, but Maokai ultimate is available. Jonah just flashes in, grabs the kill, is not going to be able to get the other one, but forces flash out of Apari, jungle for jungle, flash trade there, and you're able to give an assist to the top laner.
Yeah, really good play by Jonah, knowing that the Jace does not have his flash from that earlier play that Gnar made, and able to capitalize on that and get into the Rift Herald.
Yeah, I mean, I think getting the Rift Herald honestly makes that play super worth it. If it wasn't already, you're still investing your flash, but Jonah's going to be able to pick that up. Looks like he was willing to give it to the top laner there, but just grabbed it for himself as Bean started the recall. Good root there. Renata is coming down. Jinx was not hit by it, so he's able to just kind of space this out. Lucian ulti also completely just whiffs there. So 2 ultis from one side in exchange for none from the other. If you're the meta bullies, you're actually happy about this, except Stav flashes in, picks up the kill. Never mind, you're happy about nothing. Stav, insane, just goes for the play and is able to pick it up. Has about a 7 CS lead and is going to get more. Shoves in this wave and might be able to grab a plate by himself.
Yeah, meta bullies didn't have a play in response to that bot lane play. They make a play at their own top side and get the Rift Herald, and it looked like the Taxi and Gnome were able to get out to defuse any kind of response from the Rats, but Stav with the hero play gets the work done and gives them something across the map. to get in return.
Yep, Jacob is caught out by the root here. Jonah's going to be able to knock him back. The healing is on him, but Stav, again, just running to the back line, almost is able to pick out Noam there. Jonah's falling down pretty low. Apari is caught out in the front line by himself. Not really anyone else is going to be hit by the Maokai ultimate in a significant way, but Taxi's able to get the reset. Swain ulti coming in huge, picking up some kills. Taxi's now going to fall down low, and it looks like a kill's happening on the other side of the map, but Gruer is falling down. He might be the only one out, and he's not going to be able to survive. He is... Never mind. Probably going to be able to pick up the Zac. Is taking the tower shots. Bean was able to get another solo kill on the top side of the map. Gruer wants to make sure that Zac dies, but that was a costly mistake. He is just going to get picked out there, and Apari's going to get to live, except Taxi's ultimate comes in and finishes him off. So overall, that was still... It might have just been a 3 for 3. Not sure what the math is there, but...
Yeah,
the Rats have the advantage
here. Yeah, a lot of action happening here in the last minute. See if Nar can get away from this Jace.
Gets the stun. Huge grasp trade. Oh, he almost got it. The Eclipse completion is really what made the difference there. Nar now, since he's dead, can buy the Divine Sunder, but did not have Mythic completion at the point in the game. They're now running up. They don't want Jonah to be able to get anything done, but the Renata pull just pulls him directly into the wall, so stifles the play.
Yeah, after all of that, the Rats have about a 1.5k gold lead. They're getting tower damage top.
Good pull from Hidiri. Looks like he might be going for a play here, but Gruer's running in forward. Actually does have the damage advantage so far in the fight. Hidiri doesn't have ultimate, so Gruer should be happy with this, except Jacob sitting in the bush. This could be a really good flank if he's able to hit it. Hidiri falling down super low could bait. Stav running up. He's looking for something. Has ultimate. Jacob goes for the snare, is not able to hit it. I can just call it a handshake. That's not a hard name to say, but the Infernal is going to be really important this game because you have Lucian and you have Jace, and these are the two champions that you really want to be able to push the tempo in this game and snowball, as you were saying earlier. And them having this little extra damage, they don't need to have as big a lead to have as big of an impact as they want. I don't think you could have asked for a better early dragon for the side of the Rats.
Yeah, same with the Cloud Dragon second and this potential Ocean Soul. So the Infernal and the Cloud Dragon to get that movement speed and extra damage to extend your leads, and then if it pays off for you in the end, you get an Ocean Soul on top of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on the Ocean one though. I would have preferred to see a Hex Tech from them. The Hex Tech does better for them, and if you're playing a poke comp into Ocean, if they get it, you just lose any ability to play the game. So it puts so much importance on these dragons for that's the game for the Rats. If they fail to pick them up, it could spell really bad news for them. It helps the Swain in the Zac, but you are losing your advantages from Jason Lucian. Gruer's space to do really well here. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, the Ocean Soul maybe not the best soul, but definitely not one that they won't want to keep away from the meta bullies, like you said.
Yeah. I mean, it'll make for an interesting game. Yep, and now Gruer is looking to pick off Jacob, but he really hasn't been able to find anything this game. His row is stacking, but he didn't get it until 12 minutes, which is a bit late. Usually you're hoping to get it about 10. Not sure what happened there. It's possible that he went for the early boots to make his lane against Swain safer, which I appreciate, but if you're at a high risk of the Jace and Lucian getting really far ahead in the early game. But they've been able to bridge the gap just a little bit. It's down to less than 1,000 gold lead. I assume picking up that tower was able to do it for him.
Yeah, really good job by Bean to get that first tower top lane. Yeah, the late row of completion from Gruer, honestly probably just a result of the death in lane. And then he TP'd down bot lane and got 2 assists out of it, I think, but that's all he got and did end up dying as well. So he's definitely been set pretty far behind. Able to keep even in CS, but Hidiri probably just has quite a bit more gold from his kill participation.
Stack check on the Swain is going kind of crazy too. I believe he's at 150 bonus health here, which is literally just an extra ruby crystal in his pocket. So he's going to be happy about that one.
Yeah, it looks like the Rats going to be able to respond.
Yeah,
to the
Tax is in
tower bot lane for themselves.
big trouble here. Looks like he was able to dodge out from the ultimate, so there is no play. Good maneuverability from him, and the play in mid lane is going to fizzle out too. But you get stuck in a really dangerous position here, and being able to dodge whatever the Renata thing is called, corporate takeover, something. Hostile takeover. So. Taxi's falling down low. Stav is pushing under tower, takes a tower shot, 2 actually, but just pixels away from getting this. The Jinx rocket comes down. He's able to flash it. Might have hit him and he flashed.
I think it still hit him.
Yeah. I mean, Taxi's just happy to get that flash out.
Right, especially after expending both of his summoner spells.
Yeah, it makes that trade go down to a bit more even. Both supports do have both sums up. I'm interested to see what teams are going to prio this Ocean Drake for, because obviously you really want it from the side of the meta bullies, but you're not going to get it until, like, I always do the math wrong on this. 33 minutes is the earliest you could get it. So the game needs to go super late for them to even get the soul.
Right, they did get this Rift Herald though, so maybe they can use that to create an advantage for them on the play for this dragon here in a little under 2 minutes. But yeah, we'll have to see where they decide to use that.
Yeah, if I were the meta bullies right now, I'd be trying to get as much gold as possible into Rise and Jinx. Just funnel waves, camps, everything into them. Make it as easy as possible for Jinx to get resets and just have a huge damage threat on their team. But obviously, the Rat's doing a really good job of making that basically impossible. You have Vision just coating the side of the map. They're looking to make an invade there. Not amounting to anything. But if they found a squishy player out a position, they probably could have taken him out.
Yeah, this Vision that they have set up in the Meta Bullies red side will last until just about when the dragon spawns. And like you said, they do have that lit up very well. So definitely very good vision coverage here. Should make easy setup for this potential soul point.
Yeah, Bean's just trying to push in this turret. You should be able to pick it up. I think they're, what, like 700 gold, something crazy like that. A huge power spike for the Narp, he's able to pick it up. Stav's looking here.
Yeah, really tough. Not going to get the angle there. But yeah,
oh, never mind.
Goes back in.
Yeah, and he's able to get it with the ultimate. If he had flash, he could have gotten it faster, but double TP's coming out to try and stifle the play here. Really good grab by Bean. Isn't able to get the wall into the stun, but hostile takeover comes down, taunts the enemies into themselves. Stav is still alive. Huge save from Jacob there, but Gruer runs in, gets a 700 gold shutdown, but it's a 3-for-1 so far. Fury's going in looking for something, but he's going to disengage. Does not want to mess with the tower there. Honestly, the shutdown from Stav going over kind of evens out the play. It's still in the favor of the Rats, though, because they're able to get about 300 extra gold from that kill, and they're able to get a third dragon, which forces the meta bullies to play super aggressively around dragons for the rest of the game. And forced fights from the other side while you're ahead are super powerful. If you factor in this dragon stats, you're up about 5k gold, and your champions are just stronger at this point of the game anyway.
Yeah, crucially for the Rats, their jungler did survive that play. I think it wasn't a bad look by Jonah and Bean, but with that hostile takeover coming especially, it was not a good look for the rest of the team. Gruer and Gnome to join that play, so they were kind of left to dry.
Yeah, Deary lives on like 100 HP there. Very close ultimate from Taxi.
It looks like they are going to be able to get this mid-tier 1, though. I was going to comment before the dragon. It makes it hard for them to walk up and get a decent foothold with this mid and bot tier 1 towers still up. But like I say, able to get the tier 1 mid, and we'll see if they can make any progress on this bot lane tower.
Yeah, the Rats were able to avoid a pretty common mistake there. They did back off as the tower was falling down. Normally it's not a big deal, but when Jinx resets, you do need to be super careful. I don't know, Bean seems to be the only player with any sort of advantage on the meta bullies at this time. Looking at gold, he is actually ahead, and it looks like Jonah's pretty far ahead too. The farm is getting a lot done, but everywhere else in the map, especially in the bot lane, Stav and Jacob doing so well. This is the Meta Busters bot lane we saw earlier. Being used against the meta bullies is pretty funny. It's almost like a F you to know them for not picking us, right? But
right. Yeah, that play from let me see. Zach gonna E in, the Swain ultimate popped. Rise doesn't have his flash available, not really being able to realm warp.
Oh, that was a pretty huge play there. They almost go 1-for-1. Hidiri tanking just enough to actually make the play good. But that's what we were talking about earlier in the game. Taxi is here to maybe pick it up, though. Spacing Hidiri pretty well, and he's stuck between 2 towers, so
yeah, definitely
Taxi's
should be able to pick that up.
Yeah, but you were saying earlier that the Zac and Swain are going to give Rise so much trouble with his lack of mobility, and there's where we really saw it. He's able to pop Phase Rush, but it only gets so much done for you when you're slowed and CC'd that much.
Right, and the cooldowns on Swain's E, and also like Zac has 3 forms of CC in this kit, so you don't really have a good opportunity to realm warp if the Zac is playing conscientious of that. Yeah, Stav taking his hit at the Gnar here. He's been hitting everybody else, taking them down. He's like, all right, I'm gonna hit this Gnar now. He's able to take him down too. 5-1 for the Lucian, sitting on 2 items. And it looks like they're about to pick up this top tier 1 as well to extend this gold lead.
Oh, Stav's dead. Dude, say what you want about Taxi's game overall, but his ultimates have been so good. I feel like half of them have like contributed directly to a kill.
Right, yeah, that ult bot lane, able to force the flash from the Swain, and ends up getting him because he has to overextend into the tower. And then that ult there to pick up Stav. Massive gold influx into the Jinx. See if she's able to put it to good use and get some work done for the team here.
Yeah, I mean, that sucks for you and your Stav, right? Because you think, oh, I can get away with this dive, you know, all the damage and everything, and then Taxi just boops you across the map. Really good play from him. He is sitting on 2 items and a recurve bow, so he could be at a pretty good spot for the next objective. They're closing down the gold lead. It's only down to about 1.3k, so the next fight could be a little in their favor. Gruer, good job there, forces out the flash from Jeremy, and now a dive could be coming out. He is the only remaining member of the Rats with a shutdown. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, Baron's up though, and we got 3 members bot side, but they are positioning for this dragon here, so
yeah,
that's something I don't understand. But
yeah, the advantage you have with Soul Point is that you can kind of force stuff like this though, because the other team needs to stop you from getting Soul.
Yeah, and it looks like while they're posting up in the Pixel Bush trying to catch someone out, the Rats are just going to start up the Baron.
Yeah, this is a tough call from the meta bullies though, because on one hand, you do want to prevent them from getting Baron, but once you've already committed resources down to Dragon, it might be better to just stay there and hope you can burn it before they collapse on you. Huge flank from the Jace though, isn't able to get anything done yet. Huge hostile takeover coming down. Jinx is able to get the first kill of the fight. Taxi spacing so well. Hidiri's running towards him. That's another kill going over to the blue side, and Taxi is just free hitting, getting so much damage now. That's another kill, resetting, running in. Stav has fallen down super low. Ult comes out, able to pick up another kill. This is a 4-for-1. And they actually did end up getting the Baron.
Jonah was able to get the Baron as well. Really big for the meta bullies here.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Who cares about macro when you simply have better hands and can play team fights this well? Gruer and Taxi definitely probably known for being 2 of the best like skirmishing team fighting mids over the last couple seasons. So seeing them both on the same team, these weird river fights are definitely going to be your strong suit. They're both used to being these like main damage carries, so get to see them work together. Very exciting.
Yeah, and they're able to pick up this dragon as well, deny the soul from the Rats, and get 1 on the board. So, like I said, really, really good outcome here for the meta bullies. We'll see if they're able to use this Baron here. It looks like they're able to get the bot tier 1 that we've been talking about.
Yeah, and that 700 gold we mentioned earlier going right into Gruer's pocket, and he's able to convert that into his 3rd item. This is actually looking pretty good for the meta bullies here. They're up about 500 gold worth of stats if you factor in the dragons and all that jazz, but I'm hesitant to say that they're favored, but I probably should be saying they're favored. They're in a pretty good spot after being down basically the entire game. The pace definitely isn't what they would have liked it to be, but they've made it work for them so far.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the downfall for me whenever I've played Gnar, is that Gnar is a pretty high execution needed top laner. and especially when they're relying on Maokai here and Gnar for their engages mainly, it can feel like a lot of pressures on your shoulders as the Gnar.
Yeah, and I said that they were favored. I don't actually think that anymore because that's Gnar TP blown, which is probably the most important thing in that guy's kit. And same with Maokai ultimate, both of them used for about nothing. Luckily for them, no objectives are up for 3 minutes, but looks like they're forcing a fight out. Gruer does seem to stopwatch really early. Stav is now gunning down damage. There's all Zonius, though, no damage actually falling through. Hidiri flashes onto the back line. No one falls down super low, is taken down. Gruer is falling down really low, and Hidiri is going to be the first one taken out. Jinx is able to get a reset. Gruer is falling down low, no one low. Everyone on that team is low. Stav is able to pick up one, goes in. 3 members low on the backside, falling down to the Jace, and Bean goes in looking for a play, is going to fall, and it is 3 kills on both sides. Now Jinx is running in, but the reset coming in from Renata, who is just going to fall, and Taxi, spacing so well, is able to pick up the kill. Triple kill there, and not having these abilities just simply didn't matter. The fight goes way too slow, and the Lucian just doesn't have the range to deal with the backline. Draft paying dividends here for the meta bullies. This improved range is really good. Jinx a couple patches ago would be attacking at 7 attacks per second and have won the game already, but thank you, Riot Games, for stopping that bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, the fight looking really good for the Rats at first. Begins off of Gruer getting caught, forces Anyas immediately. Big Swain ultimate onto the backline. But yeah, Taxi just really able to show the handwork on this Jinx here with his little pocket campfire buddy, and able to turn that fight around and get the mid tier 3 and the mid inhib for them, as well as get that massive killing spree.
Yeah, I mean, what it really comes down to for me is that both teams have about 3 champions with super low health. Which champion in this game has a reset? And that answers the rest of it for you. Because they did nerf Jinx's structure taking ability, but the combat resets are still there, and they're very powerful. Not sure how you're able to win this game as the Rats. Lucian's still pretty strong, but it's really hard to pick anyone out solo because Jinx and Ryze should just be able to space you. And Ryze is so tanky at this point, even for a damage threat. Although Noam is just caught out here. This could be really bad. Noam just gets completely lit up.
Yeah, face checks a couple too many members of the Rats in their own jungle. Will go down. I don't think there's anything necessarily that's going to be up while his death timer's counting down, so in the end, not the most consequential death, but still not something that you want to be giving over to the Rats with the game still. I still think the game is kind of close. I don't think it's a one-done deal. So definitely not something you want to be giving over any advantage at all. But
yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people will say that the jungler is the most important to have up for the objective, which is true. But support is the most important one to have up a minute before the objective, so you're able to get the vision set up. But Noam is literally going to be arriving as the objective spawns, which puts him in a pretty rough spot. Now Jonah is in a little threat here. He's walking up against 4, but they have no vision control. This control ward in the pit's really good. Gruer is actually able to spot it, which is really convenient for him. But they just replace it with another one, and just look at the map. It's all red.
Yeah, definitely really difficult for the meta bullies to be able to walk in here like this. We'll see how they decide to approach it, though.
Yeah, when the meta bullies are forced to push into a Lucian, that kind of mitigates the range advantage, but they know that Jace isn't there, so they're trying to give just a little bit. Jace, looking for a Shock Blast, isn't able to find anyone on the backside. Just going to zoom out a little bit, see what we can see here. Huge engage from Bean, but it only ends up hitting Zac there. Hidiri now flashing in. Isn't hitting anyone with his ult, but now he's able to get close enough, and the soul is picked up, and that's going to make a huge difference. This fight is now going to completely swing in the favor of the Rats, I'm pretty sure. And that's 2 kills. The Jinx taken out immediately. Really good target selection and focus from the Rats. Able to pick off those 2 damage threats and leave the tanks and the support alive. Should be a free Baron.
Yeah, and I think they're going to head straight to the Baron here. Maokai is up, but like you're saying, with their main damage threats of Ryze and Jinx down, they're not really too worried about the meta bullies coming to contest. I think they get it down before anyone can even approach the pit as well. So yeah, it definitely just looks like the Soul pickup and the Baron pickup. Jeremy's going in though on Maokai. They have the numbers advantage.
Yeah, I mean, this Baron is going to give him a lot of power, but these champions aren't very good at sieging, so it's hard to tell if they're going to be able to push it out, but I think the Ocean Soul is the real difference maker here. You go from getting about 1k per dragon for the first 3, and once you get Soul, the math is around, I think, depending on which Soul you get, it's around like 5 to 8k, so you get a huge buff just mid-fight, completely swings things. And now the gold's even, which means that actually the Rats have a huge advantage.
Right, and see, the only tier 2 towers still up are top and bot, so we'll see how they try to approach the map here with this Baron. I do think their Baron is about a third of the way done, almost halfway. I think you get like 6 waves with Baron, so I think that was like the second wave, or maybe the third, but it looks like Jeremy is here in the bot lane, looking to pressure that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a slow siege coming in through here. Noam is saying that he resubbed. I did not see it because I'm monitoring chat on my phone, which is not logged into the Scrim Zone Twitch. It's logged into mine. So apologies, Noam. I do appreciate it.
I don't know. Yeah, kind of like you were saying, the Rats don't really have any good siege champions here. So even with this Baron, Metabullies is able to mitigate most of the push.
Yeah, with the exception of Zac, all of your range is these little claws that you can throw it at short range too. So it's really hard to pick anyone off. You almost have to just have Apari throw his body into someone. But now the blue team is just walking into them, and that means that Apari gets to do what he wants to do. JCP's coming out to reposition here, but actually really good play from Metabullies here. They're able to force out the Swain ulti and the Lucian ult and just disengage. But now Guru gets caught out a little bit, but Jonah's engaging, and Zac's on the back line. Takes his time, aims this, Berserk comes down, Jacob's picked off, and Apari's going into the back line, Noam falling down super low, but Jeremy's here, full health, wasn't involved in the fight earlier, he's now coming in, Stav is full health, and huge Shock Blast comes down, and Stav's able to pick up one, Apari re-engaged, that's another kill going down, going to the Swain this time, and now in a 4v1, it's a bit easier to siege, they're actually running down towards the bot side of the map, trying to find wherever their wave is, Baron buff coming down, and they're trying to take an inhib here. The respawns, though, are like 40 seconds. They might just have the game.
Yeah, this bot lane wave here available off of Jeremy's push off the tier 2 earlier. He did TP mid, but his wave is still pushing in, and it looks like they're able to clean up this game here over the Metabullies.
Yeah, they almost let this one slide through their fingers, but a really good target focus in that Soul fight. They're able to pick off Taxi beforehand, and with the Ocean Soul, it's really hard for people to fall down low when you're healing all the way back up.
Right, yeah, really, honestly, a pretty banger game. Pretty close, right up until the end. With punches, pretty heavy punches thrown back and forth all throughout the game. Good on the Metabullies to be able to shore up the kind of early deficit that they found them at. Not that I'm faulting them for being like that. That's kind of what the Rats comp wanted to do. That's what they should have done, was found some early advantages. Players are really good on the Metabullies to bring it back around, but unfortunately not able to execute through to the end, and the Rats able to push through and get that dub.
Yeah, I mean, really well played by both teams there. It felt like both had a shot and both kind of executed exactly how they wanted to. Obviously, one team is getting the lead and the other isn't, so it kind of falls apart a little bit. But no, I really couldn't have asked for a better game, especially in the first round. That was kind of a banger. But moving forward, we do have Midwives versus Metabullies are going to be our last game of the day, and whoever loses that is going to be eliminated from the tournament, and we're not going to get to see them anymore throughout the rest of the week. But up next is going to be the Rats versus Milky Way. So I'm going to go ahead and mute, and that one is going to be you and Mason casting that one, I believe.
Okay, sounds good.
Hello. We're back.
Welcome back, Mason.
So we have the Milky Way versus the Rats, right? This was it was a really good performance from the Rats. I was watching. They did have a couple slip ups. I think the Baron fight was like a little sloppy, but I really liked the rest of the execution in that game. It just looked really solid. Do you have any opinions on what's about to happen in this game? Any predictions so far?
He knows what happens, Mason.
Oh, he does? Okay, sorry. Well, since I do not know, I think based on the way Milky Way performed, I think Milky Way is slightly favored. They played super well, and I think Blake just has the champion ocean to beat Jeremy. I haven't seen too much, but I don't think the Jace was like a super convincing pick or an answer, so we'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, we'll have to see how the game goes. I did like Stav's Lucian. I'm glad that did make a return. It looked a little rough when he played it on Battle Busters in season, but I'm glad that he got a really solid performance on that second go around here. So, yeah. What else is there? I'm pretty excited to see for the champions to watch. Arnie's playing this time instead of Jeremy. I just wasted my entire breath for that. Anyways, Arnie's champion pool is really good. I think he's played a lot of the Renekton, a lot of the Aatrox, a lot of the what else is there? Those are like
crucially, they're both Blake and Arnie are some GP enjoyers.
Oh yeah, that I'm curious to see how the GP matchup is going to go. I'm curious to see how Apari plays into Alana. Alana has only played the Sejuani so far. Haven't really seen too many other jungle champions coming off from her. I wonder if we'll see her get pushed on that at all. But I think Apari has played Udyr, Kayn. We'll have to see how the Kayn prowess shakes out in this game because there was a Kayn top last time. So they could flex that in theory. Hidiri versus Stanley should also be a really fun matchup to watch. Stanley known for smaller champion pool, Hidiri known for meme champion pools, or not meme champion pool, but like champion ocean kind of thing. So we'll have to see what do you really wants to pick up here.
Our key matchup does appear to be the mid lane, Stanley versus Hidiri.
Stanley is almost 200. Anyways, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say historically, Stanley does actually have the upper hand here in this matchup.
So, one could argue like meta beats off meta sometimes, but like I think it should be a really fun matchup to watch. Stanley with the recent pick of like champions like Yorick and Kassadin in the mid lane and stuff like that. I'm curious to see what he's gonna whip out into Staniel. So.
Looking at Hidiri, what Hidiri's played against Stanley, you see the Rakan, kind of pretty off meta. The Vel'Koz, he's a mid laner, but I would call Vel'Koz off meta at this point. Agreed. I don't know. Yeah. And Nasus as well. So I honestly couldn't tell you what Hidiri's gonna pull out here, but I guarantee you it will probably entertain.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I think that's mostly it for the mid lane. I think to talk about the key player that Dean flashed on the screen for a bit, it is going to be Blake. This boy can do it all. He plays GP. He has like the Yone historically. I know he's played the Kayn recently. The Garen is like super threatening. He is a known Viego top player. He says that champion's dog shit. I would agree, but it is a champion he has shown a lot of comfort on, and pretty good win rate overall in this KD. Isn't super impressive, but he just always has had the numbers to back up his play. So I'm really excited to see him perform in this game. So
yeah, I mean across over 200 games, really consistent.
Yep.
That was good. It looks like the key player for the Rats is gonna be Stav, like last game. We just saw him pop off on the Lucian, and I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what he whips out this time. The bot lane for Milky Way is Dean and Mythic, so I don't know how. Do we have the like the player matchup? See how that's shaken up.
I don't think Stav has played into Dean yet. Just based off the top of my head knowledge, I don't think that's a matchup. Really? Okay.
Oh, okay, my bad.
I don't remember this, but oh wait, I guess he did play it in season. Never mind, I'm tripping beans. Anyways, but yeah, Sav is like a really good ADC player. He's been super consistent on the Twitch. His Lucian was really good last game, like we talked about. His Kog'Maw is also pretty good. Has a lot of good pairings and whatnot. So, and he has also flexed the top lane. I don't doubt they'll really use that, but it is, I guess, worth mentioning for fun. But yeah, he is super consistent, so I'm excited to watch him and see how he performs in this game. You know.
Right.
But yeah, we're getting into drafts now, so it looks like Milky Way opted to ban out Twitch, Evelyn, and Kane. This is Apari's Kane, like we talked about. It's a pretty good ban. I think Evelyn is a champion he plays as well. I'm not entirely sure about this Evelyn ban. Blake will sit here and gaslight till the end of Kingdom Come that this Evelyn champion's OP. I disagree, but whatever. Um, I think it's like a good ban if the other player knows how to play the Evelyn, though. It's like a very spooky champion to try to play into. So, yeah, regardless of if it's good or not, like it's a solid ban, right?
Right, and the bans from the Rats, it looks like wanted to get GP off the table. Maybe they were worried about Blake first picking GP. Maybe I'm not sure, but just definitely didn't want to see that in this game. Banning Nautilus away from Mythic. Honestly, I can respect it. Not very many people ban the Nautilus; they just let him have it. So I think his stats on Nautilus are insane. And the Senna banned as well. I think Dean and Mythic definitely someone that won't hesitate to pull out the Senna Tom Kench, or like we saw the Senna Karthus, I believe, in the first game of the day.
Yep.
So a really good ban takeaway. Leona first pick for Milky Way. Definitely a champion that Mythic likes to fall back to, especially if his Nautilus is banned.
Mm-hmm.
Then we see Renata and Echo picked up for the Rats.
Yeah, I'm sure Apari has played the Echo, otherwise I wouldn't pick it, but it's also like sort of in his wheelhouse, this like mobile assassin champion that is sort of annoying. And it looks like Milky Way just opted to take the Lucian away as part of the Lucian Renata pairing. Might have had more plans for it, but I think it's like a solid pick because I think the Lucian Renata did look pretty good last game. So,
and I mean, looking at the rest of their draft, I think Hadiri, it ends up going mid, so Hadiri must play Echo as well. But
yeah,
they pick it here on 2, so
it's a flex
pick
as well.
Yeah.
I didn't mention
and
that.
I think Echo does pretty good against most of Stanley's
Pool.
champion pool, and like the Echo versus Syndra matchup, maybe not so much anymore, but it used to be like a pretty standard, like cut and dry counter matchup for Echo to be able to pick into the Syndra. I think Syndra is a little overtuned. So
yeah,
maybe,
that might be a little
necessarily good. But yeah, so good good R2 pick here for the Rats. And
yeah, and then Alana chooses to lock in the Sejuani again. This champion is a little resident sleeper, but it is a really solid jungler.
Gets the job
it's
done.
hard. Yeah, it's hard to contest. Scales is tanky, presses are, it has CC, so you're not really losing much by locking this champion in all the time.
Right, stop opting to pick the Kaisa into the Kaisa Renata into the Lucian Leona lane. How do you feel about that?
I think it's pretty good. Kaisa does kind of pair with like the Renata. You can like throw the bailout on her and then go in, and then if you die, you can maybe get a reset kind of thing. I'm not entirely sure how the lane goes because I don't play bot lane, but in theory, like I feel like the draft is like fine. So like
yeah, and it looks like
it doesn't really lose anything. So yeah.
Right, and then for even their 2 solo lanes for laps, both have to blind pick the Alawi and the Alawi and the Syndra. The Syndra lock-in is probably what opted them to have the Echo go mid for sure.
Yeah.
The Alawi blind pick with Poppy and Graves response. Have we seen Apari play Graves before? We'll have to see. We'll see after the draft. But I think should definitely be a good pick into the Sejuani. Kind of like be aggressive and take advantage of Sejuani not really being able to do much for herself in her jungle, at least against something like this Graves.
Yeah, I
And
do want to hop back into the R2 draft, or not R2, like the second half of draft, or bans. I think Victor is like a really good ban into Stanley, Comfort taken away, and they opt to ban out Yone versus Blake, which is sort of just hard for uh people to match, because Blake's Yone has been historically really good. And then Milky Way opting to ban out the Rumble and the TF. I think Adiri has played TF before.
right, yeah, it
Yeah.
was on his he's played TF against Stanley specifically, I believe.
Yeah. And then Rumble is like a really good pick that Arnie has been playing a lot. They do opt to pick Poppy blind here, I believe. I think this is to like keep like mid jungle top in like a weird flex state, so you could theoretically flex the Poppy around still, and then send the Echo mid still. And I think they do kind of utilize it pretty well with by picking Poppy, but I think Milky Way just picking the Alawi into it is like really good. Just like covering their bases kind of thing, and they don't really utilize the Poppy flex that way, and then they just send it top into the Alawi, so it's not super great because I'm pretty sure Alawi wins that, right?
Yeah, I mean, Alawi likes champions whose only way to play the game is to walk into her. So Poppy
Yeah,
definitely
Poppy
one of those champions that only can go in towards the Alawi.
Yeah, and then they pick the Alawi and then they pick the Syndra. But I do like this Graves still on R5 because you could, in theory, throw the Graves top lane and play Graves into Alawi because Graves can sort of just walk away from the Alawi when she does stuff. And then you could, in theory, put Poppy into the Sejuani because I think it's like an even matchup. You can W the Sejuani dash. So I think you could have had like the Echo mid still, and then the draft might have worked out if you put Apari on the Poppy if you wanted to utilize the flex that way. But I think they just opted for more comfort because Arnia has played the Poppy before. So I think it's also valid to try to do that. But yeah, the Syndra is just like a fine blind. Like historically, Echo probably wins the matchup, but it's more even nowadays because how good Syndra is. So yeah,
I do think the drafts overall is kind of it looks kind of tough from the Rats, if I'm being honest, because I think top lane is winning matchup wise for Milky Way. And then, like I said, Echo historically a counter pick into Syndra, but it definitely comes down to execution now. But I think Syndra, honestly, is quite strong, and so it might not go exactly towards the Echo's favor. And then Lucian Leona is a very strong bot lane as well.
Yeah.
And so I think Milky Way kind of just has a really good draft coming into this match.
Yeah, and then you also have like a carry jungler into like a jungler who's not going to let you like play into the jungle win con. Like you can sit there and invade Sejuani all you want, but as long as Sejuani hits 6, like it doesn't really fucking matter how many times they go down in camps. So I just really like Milky Way's draft setup. It's really good to mitigate their jungler and just to like play for their strong laners. So
yeah. And seeing past performances,
Blake is smurfing on this Alawi, bro. Oh my lord, bro! Is
that say a 6? Does that say a 6 KD or it was 6 and 3?
I think it was 6 and 3. Yeah,
6 and 3 with a 2.5 KD, but yeah, 6 and 3 on the Alawi. Alana, still putting up performances on the Sejuani. I think the champ matchup record against the Graves was 1-0 with an 11 KD. So Sejuani definitely showing that you can just be a lot more consistent than the Graves, at least here in Scrim Zone.
Yeah, and then it looks like also the Echo. We talked about how it's an execution, and our Echo players cannot execute on this matchup. I guess unlucky. But
I think it kind of depends on which Echo players we're talking about. But Adiri 0-2 on the Echo, so we'll have to see if he could turn those stats around. But
and I think the spot lane is kind of neutral. The Lucian has lost historically into the Kaisa, or no, Is that how that reads? I'm
No,
stupid.
this is just Dean's games on
Yeah,
Lucian and
yeah.
Stav's games on Kai'Sa.
Yeah, Dean has not historically performed on the Lucian. Stop. Okay, yeah, true.
Let the numbers talk.
Yeah, and Jacob is bringing it back on the Renata. Had a really solid performance, and Mythic is just unstoppable on Liliana. So I think that's really it for like champions. We can get into the game here if you want. Laziness. Oh, you did?
Yeah, see, yeah. Well, no, see, yeah, Blake 4-1. He's on a favorable matchup, and historically 4-1 against Arnier. So I think that definitely top is an angle for this game to get blown open. And looking at the bot lane, yeah. See, Dean's played against Stav 4 times.
Oh, it's an even matchup. That's really fucking funny. Makes a lot of sense. Stanley has historically gapped Adiri a little bit.
Yeah, that's mainly what I wanted to see, the top and the bot lane player matchups. But yeah, bot lane pretty even, and then like I said, Blake 4-1 against Arnier, and what I'd say a favorable matchup as well. So
yeah,
definitely have to pay attention to that lane here in the upcoming game.
All right, but anyways, I think we can get right into games here. I doubt we'll see any level 1 shenanigans. Leona does have a bit of a better level 1, but both teams are like kind of not looking to level 1 fist fight at all. TM. Rune set up Blake opting for Conqueror on the Alawi. Just expects like really long fights versus the Poppy. I think Stanley took Airy on Syndra, which makes a lot of sense. You're doing a lot more poking. Guardian on the Renata makes a decent amount of sense if you're getting engaged on a lot. You get like that little bit of extra shield. Dean also opted for the exhaust instead of the ignite on the Lucian. I think you guys talked about it last time where Lucian typically wants to ignite.
Yeah, he did call that a little weird.
And then does it the next game. But anyways, stop opting for the cleanse versus Leona. I think this is really smart. Just opting to play a little safer, try to get out of the Leona combos. My wagers for jungle pathing, I would like Apari to like just fucking go full fist fight mode onto the Sejuani. Just take red and walk into her blue side. Like, you need to assert your dominance in this matchup as Graves. Otherwise, like, you will get outscaled. So that's what I would prefer to see from the Graves in this matchup. But we'll have to see if they decide to go for it.
Okay, Dean clarifying that he still thinks it's weird, but it was discussed in draft that this was the specific setup that they wanted to run. So there were certain circumstances.
That makes a lot of sense. I think maybe like timing the exhaust is a little harder on the support end because just, I don't know. It is still kind of weird, but it makes sense, I guess. But yeah, looks like they're both junglers are just opting into like 6 clear setups. Hidiri did get an early ward onto the Raptors, so we can spot out when Alana is looking for the cross up into her blue side. So yeah, that's mostly what we should expect from the early game. Yeah, both bot lanes are sort of just, or both mid laners are sort of just hitting the minions. Like he's getting the push into the Poppy as usual, because Alawi early game is a little spooky, y'all.
Yep, and I mean, getting that early crash, knowing that their jungler is pathing top, sets Arnier up to potentially get ganked here by the Sejuani while the wave's pushing back.
Yeah, Arnier does eat a minion here. Not able to get a whole lot. Dean is looking for a trade onto Jacob here. Gets like him down to half HP, burning both potions. So, and it looks like Apari is clearing way faster than the Sejuani, which is pretty standard. Should be able to get top lane way before the Sejuani does, unless Sejuani decides to cut her clear and just look top lane. We'll have to see what they decide to do on this timer.
Yeah, mainly just have to see what the junglers decide to do. These lanes kind of just playing out how we expected to.
Yeah. Looks like Arnier is pushing Blake back towards the tower. He is like half HP. Blake is walking away. I don't know if the Graves ever catches here. Sejuani is still
like
doing
Blake
the
is just
Garrosh.
able to walk out.
Yeah, this is decent for the Graves though, because you do get top prio for the crab, so you should be able to just do a full vertical sequence down to get both crabs. Oh my gosh, Jacob is taking solo. Mythic does manage to get a combo engage in, and Jacob barely lives. The ignite does not kill him in time. Another E from Mythic, and he is forced to burn the cleanse on the Kaisa to just try to live, and the bailout is used, but super good from Mythic burning ignite for Jacob Flash, and Dean did also burn Flash, but traded for cleanse, so it's like kind of even in terms of summoner spells.
Yeah, is that the Scuttle Crab taking bot, or is that just a word on it?
I have no idea. I think Scuttle Crab got taken bot. I'm pretty sure. I think Alana just cheated down to that.
Oh no, it's still up. It's just a word that is there.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. That's just so fucking hard to see.
Yep.
But Alana
does see
have
if the bot lane does stick around to try to help Sejuani get this, or if Graves will give both Scuttle Crabs here.
Yeah, I mean, Sejuani has all the prio in the world, so I would imagine. But they just opt to give it anyways. Bot lane is rotating over, though. But, no angle there. So both junglers just go straight back to full clearing. Graves definitely has the tempo lead, though, just because getting double crab will tend to do that.
Yeah, Alawi kind of just slapping this Poppy here. Poppy doesn't really have any recourse aside from her shield auto, because think about it, Poppy Q is just shorter range.
Slam into the wall.
Slam into the wall is good.
But the healing from the tentacles is still a lot, and Alright does get his soul killed, so but unfortunate. Hadir looking for aggressive trade here, gets the electrocute and just runs away. There's like pretty normal echo trading though. You just take the short trades which you can. If you can manage to get the 3 proc and then run away, that's like a really good trade for you. So
yeah, pretty sizable CS leads here for Milky Way in the top and the bot lane. 20 top lane, and depending on how much of this that Stock gets, about a 10 in the bot lane.
Yeah, Mythic is just doing a really good job of using a CC to like zone stop off a CS as well. So really like to see that. Alright, this opted for the Bummy Cinder rush, so they're just trying to like prevent the wave from crashing into him all the time, so or just try to get a little extra wave clear versus the Alawi, so
yeah, Poppy's wave clear definitely lacking compared to the Alawi, so Bummy Cinder should help out with that quite a bit. Still have to keep your body in the wave though, so it's kind of tough still, but I mean, it'll help out some.
Yeah.
Party is back top lane.
Back up top lane, but Alawi has Ding 6, so this is like an impossible fight at this point in this juncture.
It looks like they're gonna go for it though.
I don't know why. This is so pointless. Alawi gets the dunk off, and the party's half HP now. Still getting hit by every single tentacle, and like just manages to turn this fight. I really have no fucking idea why he opted for that when the Alawi ulti is up, but I suppose, brother.
Yeah,
and it looks like, yeah, I mean, this is kind of what I'm talking about. Like, you can't really path towards Alawi after a certain point in the game. You probably should have just opted to spam the Sejuani in their own jungle when they're weak, but it happens. Sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I mean, I don't think I was really going anywhere. But party is up, back bot side. Sejuani and Milky Way does have priority with their bot lane here on this dragon.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really look like an angle here for the rats, but
yeah. Yeah, and Arya is just gonna continue taking the beating up top lane, so it's a little rough. There looks like they are rotating over for this dragon, gonna try to fist fight a little bit. Stanley's on a base, so maybe there's an angle he cancels the base. They might look for this fight, but I guess it's just a dance around. Maybe there's a play onto the Syndra though. Maybe. I doubt it.
And you're just gonna opt to collect the wave.
Yeah, that's probably good. Arya's still trying to E in aggressively. Gets his soul pulled out and then just bashed on by the Alawi. That's just so fucking rough. Yeah, just like the constant pressure from these tentacles is gonna be so hard to deal with as the Alawi, or as the Poppy. So
yeah, and Poppy already down like 25 CS, doesn't have TP to get back to lane. And Alawi's
yeah,
catching another wave, getting another plate, I think. So it's just super rough, especially after that failed gank where Alawi was able to turn it around and pick up a kill.
yeah. Looks like Apari is just dancing around. Gonna try to grab this dragon because he knows Sejuani sequenced up for their top side. The ulti coming out from Stanley, the ulti back from Adiri here, the ignite coming out, but absolutely no damage from the Echo.
Yeah, Echo crucially took a couple tower shots there and has no mana to really trade back. So
yeah, just burns the ulti and then walks away. I think it's fine. They looks like they are gonna get the first dragon for the side of the rats. So this is decent at least. Ocean Soul or Ocean Dragon, the first one is like a decent amount of sustain onto your laners, so it's like not the worst first dragon for them.
yeah, I'd definitely help Poppy maybe here in this top lane constantly getting touched.
Yeah, that's just what Alawi does, the toucher, bro. Looks like Sejuani is looking for the top lane play here, like I was talking about. Not sure if they're able to get anything. Pari is also still sequencing up. Next objective is probably going to be the Rift Herald, so there might be a fight coming out there, but I don't know if the Rats really want to play into that because Alawi will sit there and just fight all of you to the end of time and kill all of you with her abilities, so I didn't even realize I was getting ganked. That's a little rough, bro. Like, but yeah, sometimes that shit happens. Looks like he is trying to... Alawi is just getting these souls and just doing so much damage to it. Like, jeez Louise. Lana is still posturing for Herald around here, just opts for the base here instead. Looks like Apari
This is another stacked wave that Poppy's below half health for. Can't really walk up.
Just gonna ulti and whiff, and then the pull comes out, and it looks like Blake is just gonna ulti here. There is an angle for Graves to kill here, though.
Yeah, no flash on Alawi. Oh,
Flash on top of him.
opposite turn that.
It's crazy. I feel like if you just flash auto combo with ulti, maybe you kill, but maybe
I don't know. I think Graves' flash just came up. I think it was like a couple seconds off of cooldown.
That makes sense. It is like a little risky as well, because if Alawi hits the pull, like you're fucked, so. Yeah. Is Stanley up a plate on the Echo? I think so.
I think it's 4-4.
Yeah, he just got the plate, so they're like kind of even. Pari is looking for this gank again. He does remember what happened last time, right? Like, I don't think you should really go for this. Stanley is getting traded on by the Echo here. The stun doesn't connect, and Sikadiri does get a pretty easy trade there.
Another soul pull. Yeah, Poppy's just getting battered.
So rough, bro. Every single soul pull is like all of your HP gone. Apari is gonna manage to sneak out this Herald though. That's like pretty good for him.
Yeah, pretty good neutral control by the Rats so far. They are bleeding a lot top lane, but yeah, this first tower about to go down top lane here in this wave or the next.
Yeah, that's a little rough. That's a 2k gold lead. I'm pretty sure that most of that is just in the Alawi.
Yeah, the Alawi is super accelerated.
Yeah, it looks like the Rats are positioning for this fight. Hadiri is looking for this. Dean does get engaged on the ulti coming out.
They're on the wrong side of the map.
Yeah, Stop does manage to dodge out the Leona ult, or not the Leona ult, the Sejuani ult, and they do manage to pick up the Sejuani, but the rest of the team is here. Apari does manage to pick up Dean on the backside, but it is a 2-4-2. Jacob might get out here? Stanley is still fishing, bro. He doesn't know! And Stanley gets the last Q onto Jacob here to make it a 2-for-3. Overall, pretty even trade, but
yeah, it looked like Milky Way was on the wrong side of the fence for a second, but some of these abilities that were landing over the wall, they were able to get that play over in their favor. And then, yeah, like you said, Stanley able to pick up Jacob there on the back end, just further sweetens the deal.
Yeah. Apari did get a lot from that though, so the Graves is kind of strong. So that's kind of ideally where you want your gold, but we'll have to see if he's able to clutch it up here. Looks like Hidiri is looking for this on Stanley. The flash comes out, and the parallel convergence does not manage to hit the Syndra, so... Oh, we go for Collector Rush on Graves! Ah! This is not the game for Collector Rush, by the way. You have Alawi and Sejuani, and I feel like just going Ghostblade is way better on Graves. Like, you do so much damage on your Ghostblade spike, I feel like going Collector is a little grief here. But, we'll have to see if he's able to play it out here.
Yeah, another dragon spawning. Another dragon with a good bit of prio for Milky Way here. And it looks like they're finding Apari.
Yeah, fucking Mythic finds a really good combo, and Apari does manage to get out though. And it looks like Hidiri does have push onto the Syndra though, so maybe they can get this to be a 4v3 or a 3v4.
Yeah. Syndra pretty vulnerable without her flash, but I don't think Hidiri's going to be able to do much here unless we see some follow-up from the bot lane. But
yeah, Apari decides not to go for this. It's just sequencing straight up, and Hidiri is almost here. Does manage to almost get one. Does manage to pick up the Syndra. Looks like Tuna or Stav is looking for the Lucian here. Does manage to get the bailout to get the kill back, and it looks like they do get a pretty sizable 3-for-0. So super well played, but top tier 2 does go down to the Alawi. So
that's 675 more gold in Alawi's pocket. Alawi has double Poppy CS, both the towers. This Alawi's a menace. 2 items completed before Poppy has 1.
Yeah, this Alawi is super stacked. Apari does manage to get the Herald down, so they should be able to get this mid tower. I think him sequencing up to try to get his top cancel was a little greedy. You should have just stayed, try to pick up the dragon, but I don't blame him for wanting to keep tempo, honestly. It's like a really hard call to make. They do manage to pick up mid tower though, and like 3 kills, so his team played it really well. Looks like Arya does manage to get the tackle down onto Dean here. The calling coming back out over the back. TP coming out from the Alawi, and Arya might just go down here. Mythic does whiff the E, but looks like he is going to be in range for the pull, and then the slow should be coming out here, and he's just dead. The W coming out, but Dean does manage to pick it up here. Super good TP from Blake just to keep the Poppy down.
Yeah, it did look like the beginning of a good turnaround here for the Rats. Give up the dragon, but win the fight afterwards, and pick up the 2 towers, tier 1 mid and bot. But yeah, Alawi able to finally leave the top lane now that the work is done. Both towers are gone, and just spread the influence across the map.
Yeah.
Get the Graves flash mid lane, and then TP down bot lane and pick up the Poppy again. So
yeah, this Poppy is almost Flame Horizon. Blake is on perfect CS. Like top lane is weak, by the way, I think, surely. But looks like a combo does come out from Stanley. Hidiri does manage to pick up Dean here. Super good combo from him. Finding the 3-hit passive onto the Lucian here, just to get a kill back.
I'll have to see how the rest of the map plays out. About a minute on Herald and 2.5 on Dragon, so no neutrals to play for.
Yeah.
Still a tier 1 top for the Rats to pick up. Stav might get this here.
Yeah, just getting more gold into the Kai'Sa is super big. He has the Storm Razor. He's looking for the Rageblade build, just trying to shred down this Alawi, because that's like the one person on the enemy team that's probably going to be a threat to you. So I don't mind the setup too much from him. I think Hidiri is... continue.
I was going to say, just at this point in the game, they're only down, the Rats are only down 1 tower, even though their entire top lane has been decimated.
Yeah.
But, and the gold lead, honestly, a lot of it, like we said, is on the Alawi, and the lead itself reduced down here to like 1,500, like total, like team-wise. So the Rats definitely not out of this, especially if Stav can get that Rageblade completed.
Yeah, I think just like, yeah, looks like Mythic is a little caught here. The ulti coming out from the Echo does a lot of damage, but the
Alawi
is here on the back, and it looks like they're stuck between a rock and a hard place, and Nina's just going to start picking up more kills. The ulti coming out onto Jacob, and then Alawi getting the last 2 on the back end of that fight. Oh my lord, that's so much gold back into the team, back into Milky Way.
Yeah, sitting at over a 3,000 gold lead now, and they're gonna pick up this Rift Herald here, and probably be able to bust open this mid lane.
Yeah, it looked like Mythic was caught out for a second, but Blake with like a really good flank on the back line, just to like make sure that they're able to swing the fight in their favor. So super well played from Milky Way. Yeah, looks like it is another Chem Soul. Again, this soul is not that great, but it's like okay. It's still like worth trying to grab as a team. Looks like Poppy did opt for the Jaksha with the Bombies, and it looks like Eka is opting for the Lich Bin, trying to get these one-shots off on these squishy champions. So I'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, especially with Blake continuing to push this top lane, if the Rats will be able to contest this dragon. But I almost want to say you just shouldn't. Really, these dragons are just an excuse for Milky Way to force you to try to fight them, or at least bait you into trying to fight them.
Yeah, you're like stuck between such a rock and a hard place. Like, you know your Poppy can't contest the Alawi, so like, do you just send 3 people to try to fight the dragon, or do you try to have someone stop the base from being obliterated? Blake is using the split push pressure that he has so well here.
Yeah, and they are just going to have to be able to give this over. Alawi's getting that 2-3 power. No mana though, going to see if Echo can try to convert this into a kill.
Does manage to get the ulti and the stun out, so Echo does manage to get a huge shutdown in exchange for this Chem Soul, or Chem Dragon.
Yeah, I think we want to see as much gold as possible going in on this Kaisa and probably the Echo. Because he has that good backline access to try to blow up one of these targets like the Syndra or the Lucian. And then, yeah, Kaisa, just because she's their only real DPS threat at the moment.
Yeah, I would agree. It's going to be a little rough, though, trying to punch through an Alawi with a bunch of tentacles. Probably want to get like an early heal cut if you have access to it. But
yeah, maybe. I'm not sure who all should be trying to get the heal cut. You don't want to... Oh, Idiri looking for a play there.
Just gets locked down by the Sejuani and the Iana, unable to play the game.
Yeah, but I mean, I almost want to say Renata should definitely pick up heal cut, but I don't know who else is really going to be.
I think it should be Renata.
With the heal cut.
Yeah, I think unfortunately it is Renata here. Like, you want to just like hope your corporate takeover, hostile takeover, that's what it's called, gets hit on everyone. There's like an argument, but I think it's just probably the Renata. Yeah, looks like they're just gonna use this Herald, try to break up in mid. Definitely gonna try to force this Baron. I think Baron is the next objective. You can just have Blake sit in side lane forever, and it's just like you have to send like 5 people to deal with him, and even then, this Alawi will win the fight. So yeah, looks like they are just starting it up. This is a really good play from the side of Milky Way. This should be a really easy Baron for them, honestly. There's no way that the Rats have the read on this, and also like they have to fucking deal with the Alawi killing their base. So it looks like the TP is coming out from Anya though. No jungler here to smite, so you're literally just flipping versus no jungle. So yeah, they just go for the finish, and Alana does manage to get it. So super good dragon or Baron from the side of Milky Way. Now they can just sit here and have the Alawi sit in side lane and force the game to close out. Looks like Blake didn't opt for the Hullbreaker build. I do kind of like this because he has been pretty active in team fights. Like, he has showed up for like a lot of skirmishes. So like not sinking all your money into like the split push agenda is like really good. Because you're already on match inside lanes. So
the 3-1 and 4 Syndra able to just click on Stav and delete his Kaisa.
Yeah, that there.
And does the same thing to the Echo immediately afterwards.
That was a good
season. Neutrals.
Lana.
Yeah, no neutrals coming up anytime soon, really. So a lot of time to use this Baron and play for these waves.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Jacob just got fucking obliterated by 1Q. Looks like another tower should be going over to the side of Milky Way here in mid lane. I do want to shout out Alana Chainsey seeing the Echo really well so that he can ulti. Super well played. The ball shove into the ulti was really good.
I agree. And Poppy ult misses. It looks like the tier 2 mid and bot is going to go down here, actually.
Like takes damage for sure, right? Ooh. A lot of damage here.
Bar. There's some missing.
Yeah? I don't know. Graves does manage to complete the Yomu's here. That is a decent power spike for him. I don't know how much it matters here in this game, but it looks like the Soulful is coming out. Hadiri is taking a lot of damage. The wall slam does come out from the Poppy, but again, I think Alawi takes damage for sure here, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, committing 2 members and still not really being able to effectively stop the push. Leaves the rest of Milky Way able to get that tier 3
just
mid.
outplays the poor little ADC. Unlucky, to be honest. The hostile takeover coming out, but no one really gets hit. Dean is autoing Stanley down for fun. But they do manage to get one back, so not the worst, but looks like Milky Way is just going to set up for the Chem Dragon, so.
Yeah, honestly, like I said, I think you kind of just need to give this one and try to get your waves in a better spot. You have 2 exposed inhibitors and a third, or your last inhib tower barely holding on at the moment.
Yeah.
Probably want to try to take this opportunity to get your waves in a better spot so you don't just immediately get sieged on as soon as this dragon falls.
Wait, so Noam's allowed to spoil the game in chat, but I'm not? That's so fucked up. Anyways, I'm mad about it. But it looks like they are just going to go for the contest, but Blake gets a soul pull, and then Jacob loses half of his HP. And then it looks like they
are going to try to contest
like
this.
I said. The ulti comes out, but Alana does hit the smite button. The ulti comes out to block up the Graves, and then they're trying to peel the Kai'Sa off, but Kai'Sa still cannot do damage to this fucking Alawi to save their life. And it looks like they're just going to get ripped apart by the Syndra, so. Super well played from the side of Milky Way.
Yeah, and like I said, they have 2 members down. They have their mid and top inhib exposed. They definitely get one inhib here. Their bot wave isn't really in a position to follow up and get that tower. But
yeah, Stava's going to sit here and right click on Alawi till 20 minutes later, and Alawi's still going to have full HP, by the way. The static shield is popped, and it does drop kind of low. But the inhib is picked up. For these
both sums and the ult forced out from Stav, so
yeah, and
really
he didn't even get the and he didn't even get the fucking Alawi kill him out.
Yeah, so it does look like just the one inhib is gonna fall. But still, 2 minutes until Baron, 4 minutes until this dragon. So Milky Way doesn't really have much else to do other than play for what's left of the rat space.
Yeah, they can just sit here and take all the jungle camps from the Graves and then set up for neutrals. Like, they have all the time in the universe, and Alawi is like super strong. He does manage to get the whole breaker here, so like if they ever go to sideline, bro is like unkillable. Looks like they are just doing the classic setup of have the Alawi sit in side lane, or yeah, sit bot side while the entire team just plays for aggressive top side vision and try to set up for the Baron. I'm curious to see how many members they send for the Alawi and if it'll work this time. Sally is also just dancing with this Echo and sort of just like making him unable to play the game with all the poke damage. He does get stunned onto the wall. The fucking demolish kills him though. The soul pull comes out, the ulti comes out, 2 tentacles slamming onto the Poppy, and he just gets fucking obliterated. Looks like another soul pull coming out, more tentacles coming down. The bailout comes out, but the Graves is still dead here. Kai'Sa is pouring all this DPS into him, and then Blake is still alive. Does manage to get the shutdown in the end, though. Stanley is also here, but it's a little bit of a weird fight angle. The ulti comes out, and Stanley just fucking rips him apart, but the Kai'Sa does manage to get 2 shutdowns, so. Where's question mark?
Stanley mid, because with that inhib down, they don't need to commit much resources to maintain priority with the super minions. Diffuse send, it looks like the whole team for Blake
They
there.
do get him.
They do get him. Like we said, Stanley in a little bit of a weird position, but it looks like it's not going to matter. Milky Way is still going to be able to pick up this inhib top lane.
Yeah, hopefully.
At least
they just do the back off. They just back off and
there.
go for the... True, honestly. They just choose to back off for the Baron. But yeah, they should just be able to pick this Baron up for free. They are rushing towards it. It is going to be a bit of a flip. Alawi is TPing though. They should be able to cut off the entirety of their team. Looks like the ulti coming out, but Blake is still here. Doesn't manage to get the soul pull. The ulti coming out. He's just slamming on people with these tentacles. Arya is desperately trying to keep him off of the 80 carries. Does manage to pick up the Leona though. Does get traded back in response, and the Alawi just fucking deletes people with these tentacle slams. It's so illegal. Looks like they took the stun onto the Echo. The ulti comes out from the Echo though. And it looks like Stanley might die here. But nah, Alana does manage to keep him away, and it looks like they're just gonna walk mid and end the game here.
Yeah, they still have the super minion alive. Demolish on the Alawi. These towers should fall in.
Syndra should just be able to play zone and make it so that they can't stop the end. Echo does look for this play here. The ulti comes out from Alawi. Just immediately procs the bailout and just fucking obliterates their team. Well played from the side of Milky Way. Super good. What's this champion called? Alawi pick. So
kind of like we pointed out. Historically, Blake did have the advantage over Arnier and did get a super good matchup. And was able to exploit that to its fullest.
Come on, bro. Yeah.
So yeah, really well played by Blake. Really well played by the rest of Milky Way, and able to maintain their. I think that puts them at 2-0. Able to maintain their stay out of the losers bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully they get the inhib here. No. It's not bias casting, no. I'm just trying to make sure people are playing some proper League of Legends, bro. That's it. Like, I don't know what you want from me, bro. But yeah, overall a really good series from Milky Way. I think Blake showing that he is still the best top laner in the server by a decent margin. Super good performance from him. With this, I believe the Rats dropped down to losers bracket, right?
Yes. I believe
so the Rats are gonna play the winner of the next game, and then the loser is eliminated. Mason, your food's downstairs. Yours is the bowl without the fork in it.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yep. Yes, he's got uppies.
Okay. Avery, I believe it is me and Jacob casting this last game. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Thanks for the cast.
Good luck, guys.
Yep. I'll let you know what we're doing for tomorrow. But.
Okay.
For all those watching, we will be heading into the last game shortly. Milky Way has advanced up through the top of the bracket, and the Rats will have to play them the Rats will play the winner tomorrow. And right now we are going to be watching Midwives versus the Meta Bullies to see who is eliminated today.
Dun, dun, dun.
Sorry, I had in my notes that game was 35 minutes, and it wasn't. So I was a little unprepared. I don't know where I messed up there, but we will be hopping in shortly. I believe that Midwives did have side select, and they chose blue side.
I thought we had side. I'm not sure. Either way, yeah.
You weren't in this game.
Yeah. But I thought they had side. Rather,
Midwives had side. And they selected blue side.
Wait, was bracket upside down?
What?
With the graphic that you put in today?
What? Midwives has side select for this game that we're just about to see.
But isn't it based on who was higher before? like in the bracket?
No, it's based on who lost slower because they had the closer game.
Oh.
Which is how bracket format always works. Contrary to no one belief. Okay. Sorry, just getting stuff entered in real quick. This is round 2. Creating those assets. Boom. And now I just gotta remember what champions people played. Oh, I really have not seen this game at all. Okay, I'm going in pretty fresh. Obviously, I know who wins, but
yeah,
I have no clue how this game goes.
I have zero clue either. Yeah.
Oh, I selected fucking meta busters instead of meta bullies.
Oh.
Give me a second.
Yeah, I was in this game.
That's not right.
Oopsies.
Oh, 1 second. Okay. So both these teams are 0-1 going into it, and now I actually have the correct team selected. So I'm gonna get that typed in, and then I will let you kind of get us in, and then I'll get the champion assets done. Get us in the draft. Okay. And it all downloaded wrong because I'm such a genius. We're cooking today. Thank you everyone watching the stream for being patient.
Dean hate cramming my team for 0. No, you hate cramming your team.
I simply have bad reading skills because of brain function.
Scrim zone brain rot.
No, I'm ableist real?
Yeah. I mean, this is not.
So Noam is actually the one hate crying, if we really think about it.
Correct.
Tried to pull the Uno reverse card on us. Okay. And here we go.
He says I was literally so smart before I joined the server, and then my brain started rotting.
No, it's a common problem.
Yeah, it really is.
Okay.
It's not just you, Teddy.
Here we go. So we
Let's
go
go
to... Oh, okay, interesting. Here you go. Champions to watch, and then looks like the key matchup is exciting as well.
Yeah. So just like, was talked about last time for the bullies, the champions to look out for are pretty cut and dry. We have historically just everyone's best champs. Taxi is a bit of the powerhouse down in the bot lane, proving himself. Moving from mid. No, I'm just absolutely insane on this Nautilus. Jonah with that Trident to Shyvana. Growth to Syndra that usually gets banned. But moving over to midwives, Avery is very tough to ban against. You have the Darius, you have the Riven, you have the other champions who I am forgetting right now, just all of the bruisers. Cam, obviously very, very strong at every role. Here in the jungle, we have his Echo has not lost with a 7.2 KDA. Joel with his classical, control mage, Xerath, the Ziggs type picks. Teddy just plays the meta. Yeah, that's all. And then Kathy, notoriously, it's a Soraka pick, draws a ton of bans, that and the Lulu, but has been shown to pull up picks like the Janna and the I believe the Tarek as well. Just some really fun picks out from Kathy. I think that it's always fun pointing out the a couple support 1v1 here, or I guess not 1v1, but we got Noam versus Kathy in the bot lane, so hopefully this didn't cause any tensions based on one. I don't know. Maybe Noam can fill us in chat. But it'll be really interesting seeing Joel versus Gruer here. Joel is always really, really good at keeping up in CS, no matter what happens in lane, and but mostly with those matrix, whereas Gruer just kind of plays literally whatever he wants. During one game, I know he said he scrolled down Pekin Wolf's YouTube channel and just picked a random character, so we'll see if he plays one of those picks here.
Kind of based, actually. Noam is saying it's because of side select. Noam simply just doesn't know the rules of the format, so that's okay. That is maybe worse.
Every time we play, one of us has to buy the other dinner to keep the few sets hype.
I don't even know if that's true. I don't remember this. Not say who bought dinner to appease Dean.
No spoilers. Noam.
Okay. no one's cooking. Okay, moving on. Key matchup: Hong versus Taxi. They've never played each other in the bot lane, which is pretty interesting. I don't know if they played each other in the mid lane either, but Taxi is coming in with a bit of a better stat line, but obviously Hong has a consistency in the fact that he's played 106 games of ADC so far. Do you have thoughts on this one? I feel like it could really go either way, and I think the support matchup is actually a bit more important in influencing this.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's Teddy, like you said, has been pretty consistent across his. There have been some on seasons, some off seasons. I think they've been seeing Teddy perform really well recently, as part of the new hot shot taxi in the bot lane. So I'm really just interested to see these forces come against each other. But like you said, the bot lane or the support matchup is quite interesting and probably the more dominant factor in the lane.
Yeah, moving over, we do have Cam as the highlighted player for the midwives. 52.1% win rate, but the thing we all know about Cam and love is he has 71 unique champions he played. Like, this guy is nuts. Who knows what he's going to play.
I think season 1 and 2 he played no repeated champions, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it happened in a few seasons. It's always hard to pick out to highlight him on the graphic, but
because you don't even realize it until it's like, oh, you check the stats, it's like, right. What happened here?
Yeah, you just expect anything from him, but very interesting player to watch. Going on to Brewer, he's a bit of the opposite, but still has a super wide champion pool. I think he has a few champions that always get banned, which kind of forces him to play a few outside of that. But a bit newer to the server, hasn't crossed the 100 games threshold yet, but has been very active. Lots of games, super high win rate. Very awarded player in the previous season. 4.17 KDA is nuts. But I'm expecting him to be a very strong force on this team, as he kind of was in the previous game. Although I think Taxi did shine a bit brighter. Do you have any draft expectations before we head right into it?
I guess in terms of bans, I think that we're going to see the Syndra ban for Brewer. I'm not really sure beyond that, to be honest. It's kind of harder to ban the meta bullies just because they have a lot of strong picks and a lot of new roles like Taxi and Bean swapping around. And then, of course, Noam is Flex God. It just plays every role. And then I feel like we're going to get rid of the Zerath. But,
yeah, I was expecting that as well. Probably like a Jinx or a Vayne or something banned as well. The thing that I'm really looking out for is the Prio and Echo, because Brewer and Cam are both known for this champion, so it'll just be interesting to see where it falls. And I think we can just kick it into draft right here. Echo is actually banned away. Looks like there's a none ban here. I'm not sure if there's an adjustment that needs to be made for that.
You can let us know in chat.
Catch us in that chat, but looks like Noam and Taxi are actually both getting their spotlighted champions for the Meta Bullies bot lane here. And the Zerath did end up going through. The Ziggs was banned out over it.
And Kathy got her highlighted pick as well.
Yeah, and then I think Vayne has been Hong's more recent tear, and then Cam's known for this Hecarim.
Yeah, I'm really surprised I made it through all 5 bans, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, looking at things in order, I think these initial bans aren't too bad. I don't have too many complaints about them. They knew that they could just first pick the Echo if it went through. Smart play by Meta Bullies here, holding that ban for last because of that logic. I guess Riven was the ban. I just don't have it scrolled to that point. Thank you, Noam.
Yeah.
Zerath first pick makes sense. It got through. They might be concerned that someone else is going to pick it up. I could definitely see Brewer grabbing it. Nautilus Ezreal, great comfort, good pairing. And then Soraka Vayne, I think, same thing, great comfort. They're probably pretty warm or comfortable on that matchup, so I think it makes sense. The next pick is a bit interesting. The Jin Zhao coming in for Jonah.
It's a very Jonah pick.
Yeah, he's probably the most prolific player of it in our server, so
yeah,
I'm very excited to see him on it.
I think that's what he's doing. Am I making that up? No, I think Sharpener's in. I have to get this mixed up. I shouldn't. Anyways.
2 Spear Demacia guys, same thing.
Yeah. I do like the Zoe ban second round for midwives, just because Brewer does play ADT as his secondary role. So if Taxi gets one of his most iconic champs in that mid lane, then that flex is definitely possible there.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, Brewer is also a big Zoe enjoyer, so it kind of evens out. But yeah, double bans towards the most threatening member on that team that hasn't locked in their champion for sure, and then Avery taking bans because he always does. I'm not sure if you need to ban all this kind of stuff when you do have that last counter pick, but obviously Bean and Avery are good friends, so I'm sure Bean's a bit familiar with Avery's champion pool and knows what he wants to avoid.
They know the tech.
Yep. Oriana's a really good lock-in with the jungler. Very good ball control and just a good champion in the game. And then Sion and Hecarim gives you much needed frontline because you do not have any of it in the rest of your team. And then the Gwen shreds the front line, so it kind of all works out together.
what are your predictions going in? Just looking at the draft, who do you think is a stronger comp? Like, obviously we know who won the game, but based on just comp alone.
It seems like Meta Bully should have a good comp, but I feel like there's actually not enough early aggression to go with the Shin. I feel like normally if you're playing a champion like that, you really want something else to kind of snowball with it. Whereas I feel like Midwives has a very solid composition where Hecarim is really good at getting leads, but doesn't necessarily need to win the game super quickly. And you get into the late game, you have Vayne, Scion, Xerath, Soraka. I feel like it's really threatening. If you're able to get the Ezreal, Ori, or Gwen fed really early, I think there's a window for meta bullies, but just looking at draft alone, I think Midwives is definitely favored here. It's way easier for them to execute, and I think if they execute to the same degree, I think they'll still end up winning.
Yeah, there's always fun with the Orianna comps though, because it can be looking one direction and then boom, one massive Orianna on a Nautilus, and then the rest of the team cleans up. But so it's definitely very volatile, but it requires them to make those kinds of plays as midwives who just kind of have a much easier time with it, I think.
Yeah, I'm down to just hop in and look at these highlights. Avery, not lost to Bean. Cam, not lost to Jonah. Noam and Kathy. Noam actually does have the slight edge there, and Greer is edging out Joel, but this would be huge for Bean or Jonah to be able to grab the win against these players that they've historically been struggling against. Moving
11
on.
KDA is crazy.
Yeah, that is a little ridiculous. Overall records, I don't know. I think they're good when we're trying to burn time, but we're trying to burn as little time as possible in this situation.
Right.
Jin actually seems to have a pretty good matchup into Hecarim. Obviously, super low sample size. Xerath beating Orianna makes a lot of sense. I'm kind of disappointed we didn't see a more aggressive counter to it, because Xerath is going to beat most of these control mages.
Right.
But I think you just like the pairing with Nautilus and Xin Zhao and think that you have stuff going for you. Vayne Ezreal, I believe, is very Vayne-sided, although we don't have a sample here, but Nautilus Raka has gone one way. It's gone that way many times.
I think statistically that matchup is kind of, even or Soraka favored, but it requires Soraka playing in a very particular way, generally with a particular kind of ADC, that people are like, oh, this matchup should be fine or should be good, and then Nautilus just kind of walks out there and engages when they're not prepared. But yeah, it's unfortunate set of statistics, I guess. 52% to not. Yeah, right. I think that people see that, they're like, ooh, I'm gonna pick it into Nautilus, and then they don't necessarily have the reasons why, the scaling mindset in mind. They're like, oh, I must win lane, and then get overconfident and get caught up.
Yeah, I definitely fall victim to
that
a lot.
Yeah, no, same. I'm like, oh, I must, the stats say I win. Let me just win lane.
So
and then
that means I win at every point of the game.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to try and get us loaded into game here. It was pretty quick last time, so hopefully it stays quick. I don't know. Watching replays through League is an interesting experience for sure.
Certainly 100% functional all of the time.
It's actually pretty good if you're using like a file and you're not doing it through the client, leading me to believe that the client is the problem. Unsurprisingly.
One of many things the client sucks at, yeah.
Yes, once again, just a reminder of stakes, the loser of this game is going to be eliminated from the tournament, which means we won't get to see them in any of the other days of streaming. So good luck to both these teams, and we will see who comes out on top. Looks like we're doing a 5-man commit down to the bottom side here.
This is the first 5-man invade play we've seen, which is pretty exciting for the tournament.
Yeah. Noam's leading the way. They should have a pretty easy kill on Hong here. The ward does come down first, but Hong's able to just somersault. Noam flashes over the wall to get the root, but that hook not hitting is pretty doomed.
Yeah, I if I was Noam, I'd be absolutely pissed. If I know anything on Nautilus hook, the fact that it did not land is criminal.
Yeah, you end up hitting the wall, so it's not terrible, but you do burn double sums in exchange for Vayne Flash. Obviously, you do have the Hex Flash, so it's not terrible.
Teddy says I forgot this game happens.
See, Teddy can't spoil it because he doesn't know what happened.
Yeah, right. He hit the sake wall early, I think. Alright, so we do have the Oh, we're going all the way to the third bush.
Yeah, I mean, when Vayne doesn't have flash, there could be an angle here. Taxi still has double sums.
Yeah, and I feel like Nom in particular is very, very aggressive in these level 1 positions.
Yeah, they're able to hit the hook. They're stacking PTA very early. They're able to pop the mark. Taxi's getting zoned off a little bit. Does flash. Kathy walks into the queue. Wow. Really good play there.
XW level 1?
Probably just held the skill, to be honest.
Yeah, I just think that was a awareness of her. Yeah, and Taxi took it back a big enough trade that now Teddy is more comfortable stepping up to take the CS here.
Yeah, and
really,
just because
really
of how the lane works, both of these champions are just going to be fine as soon as they hit level 2. But
right,
if Kathy does not body block a Q there, it's really over for Teddy. Yeah. So very good play
lane
there.
Is completely doomed. Alright, let's see if we're going to see an Inting Sai on top. How many deaths to see it on lane? I'm not actually sure Avery's placed down the chef. I know he's played it a few times. I'm not sure if he has those suicidal tendencies that some silent players have.
I think that is a nerf to all hell, so people shouldn't do it anymore. Even the boss agrees. So
yeah. Well, he just ints regardless of any champ. Nom's playing very passively here. He has his whole bar to trade with, but obviously it's not going to trade for nothing. He does have minion demet here, which is good for rescuing some sticky wave states, but it requires a certain touch that like you really need really good wave control. That Nom's going really deep here, trying to set up a game for Xin Zhao, but at level 2, even if he did that at hook, I'm not sure it gets much for them. Alright, we do see Hecarim engaging on Xin over the bot scuttle here. Gruer has prio over Joel, but Joel is able to walk to the bottom river for and use those long range abilities, so looks like Xin just has to concede.
Invade is coming out here. Hong is trying to kill Jonah. They spot him on the ward. The condemn is going to come through, gets a good stun. The hook comes out, but I don't think they're going to be able to save Jonah. Jonah does die to the first blood. Really good advanced vision there. Taxi's falling down low too, and Hong's going to be able to maybe pick him up, force out the heal. They're able to pick up a kill onto the jungler there. Really good play. This deep ward credit goes to Teddy.
I love checking those. It's a shame you can't check control words too. But yeah, really good play. Using that bot prio to get the invade on Xin Zhao's Gromp.
Yep, and as soon as this wave hits, they're probably just going to look to dive again before Nautilus gets there. But they actually just don't have the mana left on Vayne to be able to get it done. Good decision there to pull out before the Nautilus shows up, because then it gets a little risky.
Right, especially when the Hexflash, you can jump over the wall after you engage.
Yep.
Alright, Gruer is going for a trade against Joel here.
Yeah,
he's trying to get the kill, but he flashes away.
Yeah, the Clockwork passive on Orianna is really powerful in these extended trades, especially early in the game, where Mage's abilities aren't doing enough to just chunk out entire health bars. It's one of the reasons why her lane is so good compared to other control mages. I'm not sure how the Syndra matchup goes after the rework, but she used to be favored over Ori. Maybe not anymore.
Zinja's just runs right into...
Jonah was able to pick up that big chicken, but hard to tell. Gruer just flashes into the wall to try to throw the ball over there. Doesn't actually get anything done, but if he went too far in, he might have just died to Cam also.
Yeah.
So maybe not too upset about that. We are seeing why the 11.0 KDA and the 4-0 record is coming true here. Jonah is struggling this game, 0-2, and has half the CS of the Hecarim. Cam has been making short work of the meta bullies this game.
Nom is looking for a gank mid here, but Joel is just playing so far away. Yeah, not going to be able to do anything. Nom's wasting a lot of time in this mid lane. Obviously, he has nothing to do bot, but he soaked a bit of experience away from Gruer there, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, too early to tell what happens in this game, but it feels like just with Cam and you and Stav in that last game we saw, it seems like everyone gets a buff versus Noam that was on the Meta Busters. So
yeah, that's the end of his revenge riff, I guess.
yeah, we'll have to see what Kathy does.
Yeah, right.
Maybe Kathy just bombs this game, and my theory's in the dumpster. But that play against us really doesn't add credit to that. They've almost a 2,000 gold lead already in this game.
Nom's a doomer in chat. No, shut up.
Yeah, there is a CS lead on the top side, and they have a lot of trouble killing tanks besides the Gwen here. So I think there is some late game advantage still for this team.
Teddy's just like so aggressively getting these like Q autos off, and Taxi and Noam, they just can't do anything to stop him.
I just realized that I swapped what I was saying mid-sentence. Gwen having advantage is just good, period. I don't know why I was saying for the Scion. They have a lead against the Scion.
Right.
Gwen having gold is good, and Gwen being strong in the late game could stop the other team's late game. That's what I was trying to say. Brain damage. Too many games in a row.
Scrim's own brain rot.
Yeah, true. Scion is going for an aggressive play here, but Gwen's mobility is just able to keep her out, and she still has Ghost, so she's not really in too much danger.
Gwen does not have teleport here. So
yeah.
He's going to be sacrificing a lot of wave pressure top here. Scion with the TP.
Yeah, I mean,
this is one of the things
it's a good time to recall when the wave's stuck in the middle, though. It's actually not a bad base at all. You're not going to lose out on much, especially with Scions shoving in. Joel's pretty low on mana. Guru could maybe look to play a little bit aggressively, but the Hecarim is also kind of up here. I'm not sure if they were able to spot him out of vision, but here Cam's wrapping around, and Guru's actually in big trouble. Was looking for a play, but now he's dropped down to half health. Puts the ball back on himself, but it just doesn't matter. And Joel's going to burn ulti. That kill was for sure happening, but he wanted to make sure it went to him.
Evens to remind everyone why they should ban this era. Or I guess that's about it. He should just like run this game down so people give it to him more often. Classic mistake, rookie mistake. Scion proc the bone plating there, but not gonna be looking for, any trades against the full stack Gwen. She just absolutely melts through, yeah, with the true damage. It didn't do a ton there, but as of over time. We are seeing Zerath call in the mid lane here. Meanwhile, Kathy and Teddy are roaming up, looking for a really aggressive vision here. They spot out Zinzel though, so I don't think they're gonna be putting down too many wards as their jungler passing towards top. We see a lot of pressure in the bot lane here, but I don't think there's any strong game pressure against bot, and Dragon isn't anywhere close to spawning. So, yeah, it looks like Jonah's just gonna back here. Alright, we do see Cam pressuring, or I guess just going for the Rift Herald here. Doesn't quite have top prio, but with Scion, who can just shove these waves pretty safely whenever he wants, he can just go for it, especially since they know that Zinzel was in the bot lane from that vision push from Kathy and Teddy. This should just be a completely free Herald. Yeah, and when Zin just have to concede there. If I were Zin, well, I guess if they had known that he was on a Herald, I would have loved to see some pathing towards bot side there, as there's no one to protect the Vayne and Soraka, but that would have required some pretty that would required vision of the Herald, which they unfortunately didn't have. Alright, we do see the junglers meeting on the top side. Hecarim is so much stronger than Zinza here that Jonah just needs to get out, and yeah, he is unfortunately just going to die. Although it does take both all Hecarim, Zerath, and Scion ult to get him down. And he didn't even use his ult himself. So, obviously not optimal, but he is not worth full gold, and he did get 3 ults 4-0, so it's definitely not the worst thing ever. Although it does allow the pressure of his top side here, which it looks like Cam is going to take the Raptors. Yeah. Just looking at the CS on the lanes here, it looks pretty even top and mid. And Taxi actually does have a bit of a CS lead against Teddy, especially with, the couple lanes picked up here. And then Noam with a massive CS lead against Kathy, you know, absolutely stomping bot because of the CS lead and the support role. Oh, and the Herald came down and, you know, was not quite able to get the turret. Zinzao is going for the invading on Raptors here, or is it just the gank? Camera's not showing me, so it's not important, I guess. And yeah, we're going to see both top and mid recalling for meta bullies here. I was like meta busters. So we're going to see some calm in the map for a moment.
Yeah, I mean, the game actually feels pretty slow, but it also feels like there's just a complete stranglehold coming out for midwives here. Any attempt to kind of get it back in the game is just, I don't know, Hong is dancing around like a genius. I don't know, all these champions are just super comfort.
He runs it down, and he plays it with Kathy. He falls off.
That is so unfortunate. It just lollipopped into a minion there, and Noam just gets wiped off the map by the Hecarim Vayne combo. Hong does flash the shock lab. Jonah goes in, is able to get some stuff done, does drop the ulti, but Vayne is so fast when she has Ghost and Ultimate. Taxi is getting cut down by the Hecarim here. Might be able to get a kill in reverse, but he's healing up so much with the stacked Q. Jonah's able to pick up 1 kill, and Hong is just kiting around. Guru has nothing left. He's trying to pull the ball back in, but Hong should just get a double kill here. Jonah is actually able to pick up a shutdown, and the kill goes to Kathy. Really well played by Jonah there. Had a bit of a rough start to the game, but that play was really solid.
Yeah, that... Whew. Cam did...
Oh, my bad.
So Vayne and Hecarim did both give over 150 gold shutdowns there, so that is, you know, a total gold swing of a lot. Like, what, 750? The cutting math? No, 800? I don't know. It doesn't matter. 900. Which, you know, is not quite enough to bring meta bullies back to the lead, or, sorry, back to even, but he's definitely quite nice, especially... You know, on that behind Zinzao champion. You do kind of wish it went on to, you know, spread the love a little bit, as no one else on the meta bullies has any kills, but it is certainly a nice pickup in the meantime to get your team back on the way. Alright, we do see,
really good hook from Noam there. I think that saves Guru's life. The ult does go down there, continuing to try and play aggressive here. I'm not sure there's a play. Jonah is rotating up, though. The Xerath ulti almost takes Guru out. He's able to survive, but now Jonah's just getting cut down, and Hong is running in. The healing from this rock is insane. Able to pick up a kill, and Guru's actually able to survive, so good hook there. Oh, maybe Hecarim is just going to ult, and Guru still lives. Avery coming in, looking for a play, is actually able to force Bean to take so many tower shots. That was a high-value Scion ulti.
We're seeing a 12-2 with both dragons. Gonna be going over to midwives. They're already up at 15 minutes, 7,000 or nearly 7,000 gold. Yeah, it's really disgusting. They're all playing really, really well. Weak side police top lane. Actually, this is not his name anymore, but proving that he doesn't need any. Even king top? I don't think Hecarim came top. I think they're both the solo kills. Or one of them's on the solo, one of them was on Zin, but Avery is playing super, super well in this lane. And then obviously the other lanes have been, you know, coordinating and just absolutely smashing their lane opponents. We are seeing Taxi keep even on the CS here despite Eddie's lead, which is very impressive. Oftentimes when you, especially into a Vayne, when you get behind like this, it's very easy to just like be forced off everything, so Vayne doesn't poke you out instantly. But Taxi's making very clean work of it.
Yeah.
Are seeing Noam
Avery just popped the flash right at the beginning of that play, knows that if there's any risk of him dying, it's the Gwen ghosting and then hitting full stacks of ulti, so he's able to dodge the 3, which helps him dodge the 5. Good move there. Vayne has purchased a static shiv and is going for the Triforce. I believe that is the normal Vayne build at the moment. Hong with a really good condemn there to stop the Shin from hitting that. Cam just running right on top of Bean. They should be able to get this kill on the top side. Goes to the Hecarim, And the play on the bot side is just disengaged, but Joel's there to help.
Joel's getting some really nice poke in here. Getting that first strike gold in. I'm sure he's already gotten a decent bit of it. But that's just going to keep going more and more as the game goes on. Kathy already has the Moonstone, which, you know, Soraka has a pretty decent one item power spike on that. Teddy is going for the invadance, the buff here. Is going to grab it from Zayn, who does not have Smite. No, he did have Smite. He just didn't use it.
Yeah, Cappy is just healing so much here, getting so much value. Hong does get caught by the shockwave, but is able to pick one up and probably is going to get Gruer as well.
Oh.
Xerath's ultis have been helping so much there, and Hong 8-1 and 2 going absolutely nuts this game.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good decision to turn onto the Soraka, as if you keep hitting Vayne, you were certainly not going to pick up a kill on her. But unfortunately, after you spend all that time hitting the Soraka, the Vayne is still there free hitting you the whole time, so it's a lose-lose in that case. Yeah, really disgusting lead from Teddy here, throwing back to Season 1 domination. I haven't watched any other seasons, I've only here for Season 1.
Yeah, I mean, I think Teddy's just been having fun on the Vayne. I believe he played a lot of... maybe he played support in China. I forget. He said something, but he's been playing a lot of Vayne recently. Having a lot of fun on it. I think he's aware that the champion is maybe not as good as some of the other ones, but you can tell that he's very comfortable on it.
Yeah, Vayne has a lot of, like, whether or not she's the strongest, she has a lot of control over a game, which, you know, some ADCs like, you know, Sivir, for example, it's kind of at the whim of the game sometimes. Like, you can play well on it, but...
Yep. Oh, huge flank by Bean here. Noam's able to hit the ultimate, forces everything out of Hong, but now Hong's able to just free fire over the wall there. I'm not sure why he's able to have vision. I think just because they were damaging him. But now Cam runs in and Hong is chasing down Gruer, gives the kill over to Avery, and Cam's able to pick one up. That's 3 dead, and they're just looking to push forward here. It's really tough to defend anything with Gwen and Ezreal. Both are very reliant on having other members of the team alive.
Mamma mia. Are we just seeing a shot for an end here? I mean, at the very least, you're getting Inhib. There's no real Baron. I mean, obviously, Baron's not up for another minute. But this Inhib will generate a lot of pressure. It does potentially give some gold over to the Metaboles.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's tough to end with just 2 people in a Rift Herald. But oh my gosh, Xerath just cut them both down to about half, and the ults are coming out, only hit 1 shot, and just decides not to fire the rest of them, which I think is a smart decision. Hong's pushing in one side, Cam's pushing in the other, and everyone else is grouped up in the middle. Avery's kind of going for a wraparound to help Hong out once this tower goes in. Kathy just playing safe, keeping her teammates topped up to full. But Midwives have a very strong position in this game. About 15k gold lead after 19 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely, really just dominant performance.
Yeah, I mean, Cam's Hecarim, very good. Joel's obviously on his most comfortable champion. And then Teddy getting one of his classics. So they kind of got everything they wanted in the draft.
Yeah.
I do like the look of the comp for Metaboles, but they weren't doing enough bullying. You know, in the lane. Right, yeah. The lane bullies. So I don't know, going for something there. I did not cook. Kick me out of the kitchen.
No, I like it.
Snipe attempt is coming down here, but the dragon just got started. I think he was able to hit the Hecarim. Oh, okay. Hong is saying that Vayne is just broken right now. So maybe I'll have to start playing Vayne again. I got the Uzi Chroma.
No. You don't need to. Just stay away. Just get off the gym.
Yeah, I'm normally a Vayne hater, but I've had multiple people float the idea of the champion by me, so we'll see. Now they are just burning down the Baron, which I think would allow them to end this game, I think. If you're merciful, you just try and end as fast as possible. You just have the strength in the late game, and you're far enough in your builds that it's basically late game for you already. So I think it's really hard for Metaboles to find a way back into this one. Normally, I like to have faith, but this one's...
I mean, but normally you don't see a 15k gold lead at 21 minutes.
Yeah.
So.
In game, you never get to see it though.
Yeah. Got a
Brilliant insight from me on this one.
No, I'm absolutely dominating the support role here with extra 23 or so CS.
More damage, better enchanter.
Yeah.
Words of our wise psycho carrot friend.
Well, it's been interesting for next season to see when.
Scion is getting burned down pretty low. Might just fall here. Does drop down. Huge shutdown coming from Bean. I did say there's a huge upside for that guy, and unfortunately, the upside is ruined by Avery just killing him right back thanks to Joel. These ults are crazy. It is why we banned it against him.
Oh my god, 3 auto attacks with a Q.
Yeah, I mean, that is a Bork proc. Teddy's 3 items. Noam has not completed his first item at this current point in time. Ezreal
it's going to be
down
second
here.
Nautilus loss, isn't it?
But Hecarim is now flanking in, gets a huge play. Brewer is just shut down on the back, and now Noam's dead. I mean, the question here is really, like, who is more of a problem, the Hecarim or the Vayne?
Right. Oh.
But, yeah, GG's in chat. This game is just over. Midwives, they didn't win their first game, but they really did not want to lose in the second round. So
I believe that their second... actually, no. How long was the first game? It was 44 minutes. So they they did not quite make the half.
I mean, basically.
You're right.
I mean, close enough that it is arguable. I'm just gonna get an updated bracket to flash on screen, and everything else I'll just wait for later. But we did get to see 2 games from every team. So I don't know if you have any particular thoughts you want to share about them, but I thought all the teams were really interesting, and really thought they all got put together.
One of the interesting things I noticed was that round 1, I mean, it was just 2 like 40+ minute bangers. And like, so these teams were all, as you can see, like pretty close. Obviously, that last game was not the closest thing ever, but there were a lot of very, very competitive games. So I think that it was really, really fun seeing these players who don't normally come together, grouping up, and especially seeing as well some of the core synergies of teams stay together and seeing new teams around that we don't usually see. So I just think it was a really fun event that I'm really glad we got to, and hope we get to see more of the future, and the rest of the tournament's exciting as well. So very, very excited to share that with everyone.
Yeah, I also realized I totally just like bungled the bracket because I didn't show Milky Way in the winners bracket finals, but oopsie doopsie,
We'll fix it in post.
silly, haha. But yeah, I mean, we're not fixing that in post. You think I edit my videos? Nah.
Well, post isn't tomorrow. We'll get it right tomorrow.
I mean, I'm just gonna fix it right now.
Oh, doing it live.
Yeah, I mean, here we go. So
let's go.
Wait, no, I typed everything wrong. Oh God, I managed to make it even worse. What am I doing?
Versus midwives.
We simply don't think about what this picture was before, and then we call it good.
No. Yeah. We just simply ignore it.
Hey, would it really be a Scrim Zone production if everything worked? I don't think so.
Of course not. No.
Okay. Here we go. Okay, so the first 2 games we're going to see tomorrow, we're going to see 3 total, is we're going to see Rats versus Midwives play the loser of...
Wait, we're going to see the winner of Rats versus Midwives play Milky Way.
The first game we're going to see tomorrow is Rats versus Midwives.
Right.
The loser of that is going to be the 3rd seed going into the...
Correct, yeah.
Well, the second day of games, but into the qualifying match. Then we're going to see the winner of that play Milky Way. The winner of that gets a bye into the Fearless BO3, and the loser of that is going to have to play the 3rd seed in the qualifying game.
Yeah.
And then we're going to end our day with the qualifying game, which is going to be the loser of Milky Way versus the winner of Rats versus Midwives.
Yeah.
Versus the loser of Rats versus Midwives. Visualize that one, liberals. But anyway, there's a game between the 2nd and 3rd of the bracket format, which we're splitting across 2 days, which is why this is convoluted.
It'll make sense tomorrow.
Yes.
You'll get it.
But we're basically seeing the rest of the bracket play out, and then we're seeing 2nd and 3rd seed play. Winner of that gets to play a Fearless Draft best of 3 versus the 1st seed, which we will get to watch on Wednesday. For those who don't know, Fearless Draft is a series where if a champion is picked or banned earlier in the series, it is disabled in draft for the rest of the series. So if we get a game 3, that will be potentially 40 champions disabled for that draft, which should lead to some pretty unique picks. But anyway, stay tuned. Thanks for watching today. This is by far the longest day, I believe. Partially technical issues and partially because we're trying to do 4 games. Everything else should be 3 or later. So we will catch you at 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Any last words, Jacob?
Thanks for watching.
All right, sounds good. Stanley says we should play all the games right now. Keep going. No, Stanley, my voice hurts and I want dinner. So goodbye, everybody.